poker, so I'm just gonna count it down, because you can actually like save a second and a half, I guess, by waiting for a car to appear in the next cutscene, and then.
I mean, you sure? Because it's easier. So like.
Well,
you can make
yeah,
it
a little
easier
bit,
for
but
yourself.
I don't want to do it.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, basically you spawn with the engine already running, and if you skip it immediately, you have to start the engine first before you can go. So yeah.
Because it's like if you skip the cutscene when a car is already moving in it, then your car after the cutscene will have the engine started.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so 3, 2, 1. Okay, wait. Go. So right off the bat we're thrown to the wolves here, and we need to escape these gangsters as fast as possible. They can get stuck behind some lampposts or something, but they can also get unstuck really easily.
And like you can, if some of the poles are out of your way, you can just skip them normally in runs and then reset if you don't make it. But in a marathon, you usually just make sure you get them to hit something really quick.
Yeah, because when you're going,
them depends on.
Go ahead.
Losing them depends on your proximity. So if you're like far away from them enough, then you just lose them, and that's the goal, because you are already going to the place where you need to go, but to get there and to trigger the cutscene near the bar, you actually have to lose them.
Ah, perfect.
And we're playing in just because it's faster by like 2 minutes, and we had the idea of checking up all the languages pretty late, and nobody had thought of that earlier. But this game has like 6 dubbing versions, I'm pretty sure. English, Czech, German, Italian, French, Spanish, Russian. So 7 even. Maybe I missed something. So it's a lot. So we checked all of them
and listen.
And most of them aren't really different, aside from French, which is 2 minutes faster. So like, it was pretty obvious.
I mean, there might be some conflict of interest because it was timed by a French guy, but I timed some of the conversation myself, and it was the time was correct. So yeah.
Yeah, some of the differences were just ridiculous. So like 3 people timed it separately just to make sure the time was right.
So now comes Running Man, the worst mission in the whole fucking game. It's the heaviest reset point because we need to cross over a bridge, and the bridge can be either up or down, and it's entirely random. So let's see if we get lucky or not.
I mean, you could technically manipulate the cycle, but the manipulation would be like you set at the very beginning of the game. Oh, nice. At the very beginning of the game, you set your Windows timer to a specific time, and then just finish the first mission with like millisecond perfection, and then you hit the perfect cycle. But yeah, good luck with that. So it depends on your Windows clock, but it depends on your like the moment you started the game. Yeah, this is one of 2 non-GTA games in this year's GTAMarathon. And like the lore is that you're a taxi driver. You met some mafia guys. You know, with a gun to your head, you didn't really have much choice as other than doing what they wanted, and they wanted to get away from the guys chasing them. So we did that, and right now this is like your typical day of driving a taxi, which is like. This is kind of the equivalent of wear flowers in your hair. What just did right now is
almost
when
some.
when a passenger wants to three first passengers out of 5, all of them want to get into your car. You can manually, because this game has actually manual gearing if you want it. You can manually use the reverse gear and reverse to not let them get into the car. So you skipped getting into the car animation and getting out of it.
Yeah, also I need to keep an eye on the road. I'm using the reverse camera pretty much throughout the rest. Oh shit. Okay, that's
if you
bad.
want,
That's bad.
If you want a good... Oh, okay. if you want a good GTA comparison, imagine wear flowers in your hair with as many failure states as 555 would hit. This is something like this, okay? So like in this mission, because you're just a regular taxi driver and not a proper mafioso yet, you cannot actually hit any pedestrian, not even touch them, because then you still like hurt them. You cannot hit anybody, you cannot go too fast, but this is kind of tricky, I'll explain it in a second. You cannot hit your car, you cannot damage your car too much, because that also counts, but at the point where you damaged your car too much, enough to fail the mission, it's just useless. And also cop cars, because you just have to avoid cop cars, because if you go over 60 kilometers per hour, they just start getting you. And the first like wanted level is the ticket, so you don't really get anything for that. But if you avoid the ticket for too long, you get handcuffs. That's the second part. That's the second level, and it actually fails the mission.
Yeah, if you're driving over 90, then it's instant handcuffs and you fail the mission instantly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Also, there's like a hidden point system or penalty system. Like if you're speeding or running red lights or driving over a sidewalk, this counter goes like up 1, I think. And if the counter reaches like 3, then the passenger starts complaining. Usually around like 90. And if he's complaining and you hit 120, then he's just gonna say that you're dangerous and he doesn't want to drive you anymore.
So yeah, so you can hit 120 whenever you want, as long as they're not complaining. Because if they are, then you just fail. And this game is more like this game tries to be really realistic in some sense, and like, you know, this mission sounds pretty serious because, like, you know, you wouldn't be able to hit somebody on the street as a taxi driver, so that totally makes sense. But you know, the fact that it totally makes sense doesn't really change the fact that it's fucking annoying. And you just fail this mission a lot if you try to go fast and, you know, cut corners and such. What's actually good about what has this game done in terms of traffic better than GTA is that if you honk your horn, people actually help you. Yeah, move out of the way. Thanks. That's what I was looking for the term. So they just move out of the way, and you don't have to worry about hitting them. So that's pretty.
Yeah, so I'm using the mini-map at some points just to see when to brake exactly, or turn.
The thing with with this game is. The thing with this game is also if you move from GTA and try to play it, you know, this mission takes around 10 minutes in a speedrun. It took me over an hour to finish it when I moved from like some GTA into Mafia for the first time, just because there is no way you're gonna just start the game and cut corners with like your handbrake, because we don't use the handbrake almost at all.
Yeah, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, you just have to. Sometimes you just have to slow down.
So if I'm going uphill, I usually just put the manual transmission and downshift one, so I keep most of my speed.
Yeah, because the cars in the beginning are not too speedy, so
yeah,
just make sure you keep them on one gear. This is the place when you keep 120 kilometers per hour constantly, and I don't think you can go over it, but you can go over 120 on the other side, but on this side of the bridge it's just 120. You flip your camera to not spawn any traffic in front of you, because it works pretty much the same as in GTA Vice City.
Yeah, in some distance it also despawns the cars, but it's like really far away.
Yeah, if they just spawn, like they've just spawned, you can still despawn them. But if you get a bit closer to them, it's impossible.
Let's see if the guy gets stuck behind some pedestrian.
Oh yeah, this guy likes to get stuck either behind either on a pedestrian that's in front of him, or once he did that for KD, I think, where he just stood in front of the taxi and started turning around constantly, and it took him like, you know, half a minute to stop turning.
Yeah, so thankfully this is the final passenger. We don't have to drive anyone else.
So yeah, with the fourth and fifth passenger, you also can like get out of their way and not take them with you. But the problem is the mission won't progress then. So like 3 years.
Yeah, because the way it works, the objective for the next destination updates. For the first 3, it updates when they start talking to you, and for the last 2, it updates when they enter the car, I think. So, and my only explanation for that is that this mission was written by 2 different people, or just like the first one came to it on the like few months later, so he didn't know how it was done before.
Yeah, that would make sense. The third passenger is known to complain a lot, and like I guess it's just, you know, you get a lot of points for stuff like running red lights and going really fast, but like he's just known, he's kind of a meme, so like you usually have to make sure to not go over 120 here, because you can just fail it.
Vous avez failli nous tuer. Aïe! J'ai failli me casser la mâchoire. Oh oh oh, mais qu'est-ce que vous faites là?
And it's there was a funny you cannot see it. I mean, only the French people understood it. There's a line he says. I said the Juliano Bridge. Don't you know that we use a shortcut in the game as you're not going the right way, even though you actually crossed the Juliano Bridge, just like he said to the very beginning. Because he you know, because this is wear flowers in your hair. This is like, you should use this bridge and this tunnel to get there fast. Like, yeah, it's just showing you around the city. And
yeah, so we're gonna go for a coffee break right now. That turns wrong. Basically, the gangsters that were chasing us yesterday to track, and they're trying to defend Salieri's bar. Chopped off those guys really close.
Going for the guts.
Shit, I already. Yeah, it's not what you want. If you get stun locked, they can just gang up on you and kill you pretty much instantly. But
refresh the feed, Poker. It's lagging.
Okay.
Sorry.
I already did that, so I don't know why, but okay.
Not dropping any frames right now, so should be fine. Yeah, we generally want to run in a most straight line as possible, because no man you here. You can do these 2 clips, like you clip into the building and then out of the building, but the reference point is kind of finicky. I didn't practice it, and you can die really easily.
It's not, you know, it's not as hard, but the thing is, like, time-wise, it's not super great. Like, it only saves the car. The moment you get into the building, it cannot kill you anymore. That's way better. Sometimes.
Oh boy, hit for.
Nice.
Okay, let's not get run over by a car, and also, like, I don't know what to do, dude. I just need to get lucky. 8-2. Oh! Okay, we did it. Holy shit.
Nice. Shoutouts to OC. I also did that on my ESA run. Shoutouts to OC, who said, like, who was playing this game and said, like, I don't get how people die on this mission. How is it even possible? And died in the same very attempt.
Yeah.
Right now, Jess and there's a thing in this. If you start the engine of the car, the engine will still be starting when you're out of the car. So you're actually not losing any time by doing what he did. And he just left Polly at the bar because you need to leave Polly at a certain place, and he actually can die then.
Yeah. So we're gonna exact some revenge on those fools that were trying to kill us yesterday. Exact some revenge on those fools that were trying to kill us yesterday, because they messed with the wrong people. And we're gonna take a little detour first though, because there's this Easter egg on this bridge where we need to damage this trigger inside the bridge tower, and that will spawn pretty much the fastest car in the story mode that we can use. But this game also has a mechanic where you can only drive a car that you already know how to steal. So we need to find the exact car we just destroyed, which might take a long time. Okay, never mind. There's one.
Yeah, just because this game is trying to be super realistic, you cannot open a car that you don't know.
The pickup version, the best version.
Damaging this place that he damaged with the exploding car unlocks an Easter egg.
Do something really dumb here.
As just said, this is going to be the fastest car in the game. And pretty cool.
Yeah, so I was trying to cut the corner behind the lamppost, because if I took the normal road, I was worried that the cops were gonna spot me. And
yeah, because normally if you go through a red light, you get a ticket, and you know, sitting in this piece of crap, it's not really the best option to run away from cops. So like, you don't want it. So you would rather avoid cops in any way possible. So what we do is, if you have a red light in front of you, you just go to the sidewalk, because on the sidewalk there is like a small chance that you will still get the ticket, but there is like a bigger chance that you won't. So yeah, this is the fastest car in the game. Before our code monkeys scream at me, this is not the fastest car in the game probably. I don't know, but it's really fast.
Yeah, the race car is faster.
Yeah, the race car is faster, but you cannot get it in the story mode. So
well, you can. I saw a Russian guy streaming for like streaming once. He was trying to push the car from the garage into Salieri's garage, and it took him like 2 hours.
But did he do it? Like,
yeah, he saved it in the garage and he used it then.
Oh, okay.
But obviously, like, trying to push a car across half of the city for 2 hours is not viable in a speedrun.
That would be like the equivalent of, you know, pushing the blown up perennial in Big Smoke. I'm trying to make GTA references because it's GTAMarathon after all. Why a car from the 50s is in 1930? Because this is the car from the last cutscene of the game. Deep lore.
I'm gonna push the car into this gap.
Yeah, right now your goal is to blow up these 3 cars. Normally you would just beat them up with bats and then finish with Molotov cocktails. But right now we only have 1 Molotov cocktail, because normally we have 2, and we already wasted 1. So we just push the car to make them so that they blow themselves up.
Oops. Also, sidewalks are the biggest enemy of the whole game, because you can just go 9 out of 10 times you can go over the sidewalk and nothing happens, and 10th time it's just gonna flip your car and you die, because if you flip your car, this car doesn't have a solid roof. It's like made of cloth or something, and if you flip your car, you hit your head and you're just gonna die.
Yeah.
Also,
it happens for cars with a soft roof and without any roof, mostly.
Yeah. Also, some sidewalks are like relatively safe from one way and not from the other way.
And with some of them, you just have to tap handbrake before you approach them. And
yeah.
it's like if you flip on a sidewalk twice because you were going too fast, then this is like probably the fastest way to learn that you actually have to slow down. And also, it pretty much depends on the car. Mostly you're driving this bolt thrower, and bolt thrower is really long. Okay, not really long, but like pretty long, and really lightweight, which is not really a good thing in this game. You would rather have a really heavy car, because there are. It's easier to brake in a lightweight car, but also like it's a lot easier to flip it on the sidewalk. With heavy cars, you don't have to worry about that. What happens now, starting the next mission, ordinary routine, the new thing is that cop officers appear on the street, and you don't have to. Right now, you not only have to worry about cop cars, but also about cop officers that can spot you. But you know, if you're using a slow car, then you have to worry about them. But if you're using the bolt thrower and you're far away from any mission triggers, then it's usually just fine. You just go all the way.
Yeah, now we meet the motorhead and the gunsmith of the family. The first one is Rolfie, and this one called Vincenzo. He always gives us a bat and a Colt 1911, and gives the boys Thompsons. Just fucking Vincenzo.
Because fuck us, right? Yeah, Thompson is probably the best gun in the entire game, and you never get it from Vincenzo, and the boys that are with you get it like 3 times in various missions. So it's usually like, oh hey, I've got Thompsons for you boys, and how about a Colt for you, Tommy? So the problem with this mission is you have to actually take both of them with you, and we've tried for quite some time to just take Polly that triggers the next parts of this mission, and I've actually managed to like trigger him into getting with me into the bolt thrower, so into the I could use the bolt thrower and not have to worry about having a 4-door car, but it wouldn't do anything. The mission wouldn't progress.
Yeah, the bolt thrower is a 2-door car, so there's exactly what you just said.
This car is really bad, but yeah, you need both in the car to get all the triggers. Right now, this mission is just taking protection money from a few places, and if you play this game casually and you watch cutscenes, and somebody in the cutscene says it will be an easy job, or it'll be ordinary, it'll be a routine, then you know you're in for a shootout, buddy. Because it's something I spotted even as a casual player. This game is just lying to you. So whenever something feels easy or sounds easy, it's not going to be like that.
Yeah, so we just parked at the first establishment, which is like some kind of restaurant, I think, and we need to just wait for Polly to get out. I'm just gonna repark a little better, so that the first person that gets out of the restaurant can just leave, and Polly can just instantly get in the car. Yeah, in the previous mission, there's actually a shed in the parking place, if you noticed, and there's actually a faster car than this one. It's the non-taxi version of the car we were driving in Running Man, but the problem is that we can't get it out and save the bolt thrower at the same time. I mean, we can make Polly drive one of the cars, but he needs to drive all the way to Salieri, so the both cars get saved into the garage so we can use them later, which is slow.
Because Polly follows you, and he's not driving the bolt thrower as well as you would do. I mean, it was supposed to be easy routine with just driving and collecting protection money, but it turned out to be hell.
Something more.
Something more. and you're not going to see any of it because we skip it all. Speedruns. Am I right?
I think it's pretty. I mean, you can find it easily on YouTube. Like, there's videos about it, so I'm sure some people know about it already. Oi, 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 okay. Okay, this is... okay, fine.
So this is the jumping skip that was also used in the Running Man, and it can sometimes just kill you. It's like... it's something like gate zip. You may just go full speed here and get lucky, and...
yeah, exactly. You can take two different approaches. You can
yeah,
either slow down or...
yeah, you can slow down to like 60 and that's the safe way, even though you may get flipped or something. Or you can go like 120 and, you know, just get lucky. And
so I'm gonna go for something here. I'm not sure if it's gonna work, because we don't really know how to make it work all the time, but this is the way to do it. I'm gonna just get out of the car. It's gonna waste a couple of seconds, but something might happen.
So like this is the second, this is the another restaurant. I will also have to go to a motel outside of the town.
Whoa. Ah, didn't happen, sadly. Yeah, you can sometimes make Polly lie on the ground somehow. We don't know how it works, but I checked out some clips that where it was like visible what they did to make it work, and it still didn't work, so I don't know.
So the model normally this is like we still have a minute and a half or something until we get there, so this is probably a good time to explain it already. The model is where, like, it turns out that the model is already like the other family, the other crime family. It's already trying to get the model to pay the protection money for them, and they're already there. And they shoot Polly, and they take Sam to beat him up and get some information out of him. And your task is to just... Polly just gets out of the model and tells you to rescue Sam, and that's like your main task. So you have to kind of figure out a way in, and then fight with all the guys inside. But your main task at the very end of the mission is to get the last guy who's running away with your money and kill him. And what's funny is that he's one of the rooms of the model that has a window. And the thing with this window is that we can shoot bullets through it. See what I'm going with this? You can just line yourself up with the window so that you shoot this guy in the head, and you can kill him in like, I don't know, 3-4 shots, something like that. Because headshots do not kill people immediately in this game. You have to hit them in the head twice. So you can skip the entire fighting scene just by hitting this window here.
Ooh, Monka S. Last bullet.
Last bullet, nice.
Yeah, I just
So,
usually
yeah,
just lay all my ammunition into there and just hope it works.
Yeah, if you have like a really good lineup, you can just hit the guy in the head, and if you have a good rhythm of shooting, you can get him in just one clip.
Yeah, so now the probably second worst mission of the whole game, and the reason for that is because it's the longest mission in the game. I'm pretty sure it's like 22 minutes, and it's nothing but driving. You're going from point A to point B to point C, then back to B, then back to A, then from A to B, and then from A to C and back. That's the whole mission.
Yeah, the thing with this mission is that there are races organized nearby, and the Don has paid quite some money to bet on one of the racers that's American, and some guy from Europe just came there and is just storming and winning all the money. And like, what's funny is that this mission is called Fair Play, and the name comes from the fact that Salieri says that you cannot do anything to the guy that came there, because that wouldn't be fair play. So we're just gonna destroy his car, cause that's fair.
Yeah, despite the mission
And-
name, we're not gonna play fair at all.
Yeah, this is totally not fair. So right now Jess is doing what I said previously. Like if you start the car and then get out immediately, this car will still start, and the next time you enter it, you'll just be able to leave, because you can't just enter the car and move. You need to start. You need to start the engine first. And the thing with fair play is that you just go to the racetrack, you steal the car, you drive the racing car to a friendly mechanic, then go back to the racetrack, and that's only the first half of the mission, because in the second one, spoilers. Did you punch Ralphie?
I did.
Oh shit. Okay. Because normally, Ralphie comes back to the garage and walks in front of your car, and you have to wait like half a second to a second before he, so you can actually just move. But if you punch him, then
Yeah, he goes into this like fight or flight mode. So either he just tries to run away from you, or he tries to drag you out of the car, and both make him sprint instead of just walking in front of your car, so you can't drive off. Otherwise, you might risk driving him over, and obviously that fails the mission.
So this is like, this is like kind of world record strats, because if you fail to get this and Ralphie gets you out of the car or some shit, then you have to start the whole talk with him again, which is like 1.5 minutes. So yeah, good luck.
I'm going balls to the wall.
This is the longest unskippable cutscene in the game. Probably this is the best piss break.
I think the talk with Paulie and moonlighting outside is a bit longer. I'm not sure about French, but it's definitely the longest in English.
Oh right, yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, could be, yeah. So maybe, yeah, right.
Anyway,
the talk with
this
Paulie
is this is Bobby, the bribed security guard that's meant to guard the racetrack and the garages and shit, but he just lets you in.
And what's funny about this moment is that when you get into the car, you have like half a second maybe before you completely lose control of everything, and you can still start the engine if you mash W, and the engine will be already started when Bobby gets in. But if you miss it, then you'll still have to but you'll be locked out of everything. You won't be able to control the car. You'll have to wait until Bobby gets in.
This is pretty bad parking, but I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna start the engine again, just so I don't have to start it after I deliver the car back.
You can already see the difference, cause me with a PB of 306, I would call it a pretty decent parking. Jazz with a 252 is like, yeah, shit. Yeah, right now he gets closer to the car, cause it's like you get locked after a second, so you can get as close as you want before you get locked.
Yeah, I think this whole run can either go two ways. Like either it's gonna be a new world record, or it's gonna go very, very shit. Because that's just what happens with this game.
That's Mafia for you.
Yeah. The game just always spreads its cheeks and shits in your face.
So right now, if you switch from the ball thrower to the racing car, then like only the handling is kind of better, but the speed isn't really much bigger. But it's not like a shock or anything. But if you played the game casually and you switched from like a Schubert 6, I think, which is a pretty slow car, because it's still the beginning of the game, and you switch to this thing, then you're in for a ride, buddy. The problem with this is just like you have to still be careful about sidewalks, because like they can flip you as always.
Yeah, so even though I was driving kind of fast through the alleyway, it's relatively safe, because if you don't push or like apply any gas in the alleyway, you might not get thrown off, so you just kind of swish through it.
Yeah, but if you actually apply gas, then there's one place in the alleyway that sends you right into a wall. There's just one particular curb that sends you right into a wall. And I know it because it sent me like twice in a row. So
yeah. Now I damaged the car a little bit, but you don't have to worry. The mechanic who we're going to right now, who is called Bertone, I'm not sure if you mentioned it, will just repair it for free, and you can destroy it once again on your way back.
And this mission is constantly lying to you, as usually this game does, because at first you heard twice from 2 different people, or even 3 times from 3 different people. I'm not really sure, but you heard multiple times that you have to be careful of the cops, because if they see you in a race car, then well, yeah, this is not going to go too well if they see you. The thing is, I don't really know why, but the cops just do not appear in this mission, and I don't really know if they wanted to make them appear at first, and I just gave up on the idea, thinking like this is going to be super tough, because it would just not make any sense. It would be super RNG heavy. And you just hope to not get any cops, but I don't really know. But the cutscenes are still there, and like they still say that you have to be aware of the cops in the cutscenes. And when I was playing it casually, when Lucas in the cutscene said like, "Be careful, it's not gonna be working as good as it used to," like, because you know he changed a couple of things. I thought it would, like, you know, turn the opposite way when I'm turning or something, but no, it just drives normally, so it's another lie.
I guess it's some kind of time bomb or something, because you're gonna see the next day on the racetrack what's gonna happen to him. I mean, you're not gonna see it, I guess. Yeah, I guess it happens in a cutscene, but you're gonna see the aftermath.
Yeah, because this is the Europeans' guy car, and right now it's working perfectly. Even after we went to, even after we went to the mechanic, but when you start the race, it just stops working immediately. They patched fair play because it was extremely broken and almost unbeatable. They patched fair play, but they patched the race that isn't fair play. But I'm not thinking about the race right now. But yeah, the race, that's the second part of the race is the second part of this mission. The infamous race was really hard in 1.0, which is the version we're playing on, because 1.0 also has like a way to skip the entire race as like a kind of a cheat, but it's not really a cheat.
It's a shortcut.
Like
come on.
Yeah, it's a shortcut. Yeah, it's just a shortcut. And in 1.2, the newest version of the game, you get to choose whether you want to have the damage option on, or you want your car to be invincible, aside from, you know, flipping it. And also the difficulty. And what's funny is that the difficulty goes from like very easy to very hard, to like very easy, normal, hard, very hard, or something like that. You know, don't quote me on the particular difficulties, but it's something like that. There are quite a few. And the 1.0 doesn't let you choose anything, and the basic difficulty of 1.0, the race in 1.0, is the very hard from 1.2. So it's pretty damn hard. You also don't die when flipping with damage off. I did not know about that. Thank you, Peter. So yeah, you don't die when you have. So what? So it's a soft lock then? I mean, yeah. That
I guess you
makes
can reset the checkpoint.
Oh yeah, right. Forgot that it existed.
How can you forget that it exists if we use it for the shortcut? Come on.
Use it 5 times, yeah. The thing with the race is that, you know, the classic, oh, I played this game as a kid and this mission was super hard, like, and in GTA, if people say that, it's usually just with easy missions, right? Like, I don't know, Demolition Man, right? Missions that are just okay. But with the race, it's not quite like this because it's really fucking hard. So like, you know, we don't correct people or just make fun of them because it's just pretty normal that people had problems with this race. Especially if you're playing on the basic version of the game, and even if you had the difficulty choice, it was still pretty hard.
I don't need to worry about my health or the state of the car, so I'm just gonna park it really well, like this. Just gonna hit this lamppost to slow myself down. And now the next part comes, which is the infamous race that Poker was talking about. So we need to get to the racetrack and then do the thing.
Alright, oh yeah, because you're all prepared for the race, and the the EU lad is not supposed to, you know, just even start. But then the next day, you like half an hour before the race, you get the telephone that, hey, you know what? Our driver is not there, and since you are our new driver from like, you know, a year, and you've never raced before, then just come on, just race, win it for us. And yeah, by the way, you know, if you don't win, we're just fucked. So, you know, make sure you win.
Yeah, so I got flipped a little by the sidewalk, as you can see. But, okay, I'm trying to save it. You don't generally worry about the cops here either, because even though they can follow you, they're most likely not gonna follow you all the way to the racetrack. And I'm not even sure if it matters if they follow you. Maybe it just triggers.
I think this is one of the best cutscenes. I'm pretty certain it triggers even with the gun. Even if you have the gun wanted level, the cutscene still triggers. Because some of the cutscenes require you to lose the heat, but some others, the great ones, don't really need anything, or just need the cops to not see you at this particular moment. So like when the thing representing your wanted level is transparent, it means the cops are not seeing you right now, but you're still wanted. So if they, you know, with the ticket, if some other cop car sees you, then they're not gonna realize it because it's the 30s, so they don't really know another cop car is chasing you. But if you have the handcuffs, then you just trigger all the cop cars in your way immediately. Same goes for the gun.
Again, I'm gonna use this convenient tire stack to slow myself down and stop and trigger the cutscene immediately.
So yeah, this is the infamous race, and the guy that was supposed to start us first just didn't start at all, because it was the guy that whose car we sabotage. Not going for the back shortcut. But yeah, right now what Jess is doing is he's just gonna turn left soon to get a shortcut, and what you're hoping for here is that you're pretty far ahead of the other guys, so they don't hit you the moment you're turning. Because yeah, if you flip, then you die, and you have to start it all over again, and you have five laps to make. As you can see, and right after you cross a certain line, you just hit checkpoint, go back to a checkpoint, and you just go back to a checkpoint that's right before the end line. So as you can see, we just switched from position number 12 to the first one immediately. Mafia is the GTA made in EU. You know, I don't know how to say that, but GTA is also made in EU. At least the majority of it. Yeah, exactly, because Rockstar North is in Scotland.
So some people like Lembox or Badingus can finish the race in like 4:20, I think. But a really good time, or a good time, is like 4:30, which I'm gonna try and hit, but I'm getting spinned out here, or spun out. Oi, oi, oi.
Whoa.
So 2 more laps to go. It's kind of boring. Thankfully, we're almost at the end of the mission, so there's just one more thing to do. Yeah, if you're going through this shortcut, you get the sign that says wrong way, which in this case, in French version, is like maybe since or something. I don't know how to pronounce that. I mean, the French version is practically a meme in the community, because it's horrible, the quality of the voice acting and even the quality of audio itself. Like, it crackles at some points.
It's like there are, like I said, there are at least 7. I think there are exactly seven dubbing versions, and the English one is good. The English one is pretty good. The Czech one is really good. Even if you don't know Czech, it's like if you played this game in English and then you play it in Czech, it's like playing a completely different game. And the rest is like, you know, it's like less people played it, so it's like hard to tell. It's not as common. It's hard to find many opinions about that.
Worse the quality, the faster the speedrun is, I guess.
Why is he constantly looking back while driving? Normally you despawn traffic, but in this case it's just something you do automatically. I don't know, I also do it in this race, even though it doesn't do anything. Yeah, right now, this is like the very end of the mission. You just go to Lucas Bertone, because he, as well as more friends of Don Salieri, won a lot of money just because he won the race. So he's thankful to you, and this kind of unlocks the chain of missions for Lucas Bertone. And you can. This is kind of a bunch of side missions after some main story missions. And the way it works is just you can sometimes just go to Luca and see him, and he'll have a task for you. And if you do the if you complete the task, then he'll show you how to unlock a certain car, a certain extra car, and show it where it is on the map, like where it's parked, and you can just steal it yourself. Exactly, you look backwards because real gangsters always make sure they're not followed. Exactly.
Okay, I'm just gonna park in the garage itself, just so it's... Do I get a save here? I do, okay. So, police or wanted states are not saved across save games, so if you get a save and you're getting chased by the cops, you can just reload the save and they're not chasing you anymore.
The thing with the cops chasing you is that if they don't see you and you get out of the car, you get this. You may have seen it for a second there. You get this confused transparent cop icon, and it means like they do not know where you are. and it usually happens when you leave your vehicle. And the thing is, you can sometimes trigger cutscenes with that, and so it's pretty useful. And the problem with this particular moment is that you can't fight them back because you don't have any weapon here. And normally, what's kind of funny, if cops didn't communicate and it's only like one cop chasing you, if you kill him, he stops chasing you and you just don't get any wanted level anymore, which is funny as hell, but yeah, it kind of makes sense. Like, you know, he saw you do something bad, you kill him, nobody saw you.
Yeah,
there was nobody there to tell it.
If you try and fight the cops here, you might get roadblocks on the roads, and you're gonna have a really bad time, because they have spikes just like in Vice City. They can destroy your tires and they can just fucking kill you.
So if you do it really bad, if you screw it up, then yeah, you can have the really bad wanted level with guns, and they'll just shoot you.
I'm gonna use the back exit because there was a cop officer on the sidewalk, and if he saw me enter the car, enter the Salier's bar, Tommy would just say like, "I need to lose the heat."
Yeah, exactly. And if you Salieri bar requires you to not be seen by cops. You can still have the wanted level, but you need to have it transparent. And if you just block their way like this, and you get out of the car, then they just suddenly, you know, stop seeing you. What's important for this mission, and this is Sarah, and Sarah's skip was random for a long time, for a hell of a long time. And was like probably hardware dependent because everybody had a different setup for Sarah that was never working constantly, and it was hell on earth. And then Pudingos, our hero, came up with a way to actually have the Sarah skip properly. So like normally you're just waiting for Sarah to get to this place, then you fight some goons because you're escorting her to her apartment, and the idea of the skip is to just run to her apartment, because that's where the trigger for the end of the mission is, and not kill any goons. The problem with that is everybody had different setups, like I said. So with looking down to not spawn cars, hitting air to get the guys to follow you, stopping at the corner to make sure they follow you, and what was like common for all of these methods, they never worked 100% of the time. Or they worked for sometimes and then they stopped working, So right now is we just punch air twice, for English version only once, and you just wait close to apartment, and the cutscene triggers, and that's it. You just have to make sure to skip the cutscene immediately because the mission fails in the cutscene if you don't do it. There's a meme connected with this mission, because in the really boomer route, you would actually try to kill the hoodlums as fast as possible, and then Sarah would talk to you at the very end of the mission, and right before you just go to her apartment, and then you would skip her dialogue with hitting her, because like things like "Tommy, no" or something similar was faster than the whole sentence, right? So what's funny is that you would keep punching her, and the last line belongs to you, and Tommy then says, "It's okay, Sarah, anytime." So the scene is like, you just hit her constantly, and the last thing he says is like, "It's okay, Sarah, anytime." So that was the meme about Sarah, but it's not like, it's not usable anymore, because like, you know, it's not as much of a meme anymore, because you don't do it anymore. Here comes a skip that also evolved quite a lot, because right here you have to fight some more hoodlums that actually attacked Sarah, and you're kind of taking revenge. And you're going to Chinatown to see Big Biff that's supposed to give you information about where they hide and how to, you know, approach them. And this skip is really interesting, because at first it was just going there and fighting the guys. Then it was discovered that with a four-door car, you can position it right near a wall, then get into the back of the car, because that's possible in this game. You can just get into into any door of the car, and then get out. And during the animation of getting out, you're just a texture, and you don't have, you're not, you know, Tommy is just a empty, is just an empty texture. So you just clip through the wall then, and you would just go on the other side and kind of like trigger the last moment of the mission. So that was still the problem, that you had to have a 4-door car, and you would look for it right now because you have a brake. But you know, as with RNG parts, it wouldn't work every time, and it was random, so it was pretty stupid. But then, Puddingus realized that if you just place this very car close to the wall and you walk on its roof, you can clip. It's kind of random, but you can clip through the wall. You can get kind of sent into the wall, and it wasn't used in. I don't think it was used in any full run, because immediately, right, like a week later, wall clips were discovered for this game, and it wasn't long. It didn't take long for Beater to figure out a way to not only just clip through the wall using the wall clip that was found, but also save some time, just because you don't wait for Polly to trigger the cutscene. You trigger the cutscene yourself because you're near the first trigger, and then you go into the last trigger of the mission. So right now, Tommy is the person triggering. So like our character is triggering the cutscene, and it saves you about 15 seconds, because normally you would wait for Polly to trigger the cutscene.
Yeah, so we did this whole thing out of sequence. We clipped into the last part where there's a driver, and we basically break his back and kill him.
The guy he killed is the driver that's supposed to run away from you, and you know, if the car is not moving, the game just assumes you stopped it. So we just come close to it and finish it up.
Yeah, right here we get forced to the Falconer, but we can just go to the garage and switch to the bolt thrower. So we park the car between those two other cars, so we get forced out, and we don't have to watch the animation of Tommy getting out. And then we just take the big red. In this mission, I'm not sure what's the fucking story behind this. Maybe Poker can shed some light on this, but we basically need to go to Hotel Corleone and get some documents from the hotel manager and kill him, and then kill this there's a whore in one of the apartments, and we need to kill her too. But thankfully, we managed to find a way to skip all that.
Yeah, the hotel was pretty much optimized, and the skip, even though you skip the entire hotel, it only saves you about 20 to 30 seconds. If you do it
20
well.
seconds.
But the story behind it is that you have to... there is a hotel manager that's working with the other crime family, and it's refusing to work with yours. So, you know, you just steal his documents, you blow up the place, and you kill the manager. To just make sure, you know, everybody else wants to pay and work with you. And there is also a prostitute in that hotel, because the hotel is actually a brothel, just undercover, kind of. I say kind of because it's pretty obvious. But it's said to be a hotel, right? And there's a prostitute there that's also selling your secrets to I don't know if the police or the other crime family, but that doesn't really matter. They're selling. She's selling your secrets, and you. This is the first moment that Tommy is actually not following orders, because he actually, you know, if you do everything normally, then he keeps her alive, and he just tells her to get out of town. So what do we do right now?
Now comes the part with the jumping glitch, which I was checking out before the run. We basically just look at this window, then do a side roll, then do another side roll, and we're basically flying, because the animation of Tommy, like jumping, gets repeated for some reason, and he just flies to the roof. We need to make sure we don't hit the fail trigger that is like there, right before the window. So we look left.
Yeah, so they, I think, I don't really know what was the story behind it, but I think they figured that someone might try to skip the hotel, kind of, because
Yeah, that
on
makes
the
sense.
other roof, there is a place, there is a trigger right near, just as it just said, there is a fail trigger for the mission. If you hit it, you fail the mission. So when we didn't know that the flying glitch existed, and like keeping Tommy and the jumping animation worked like this, by just switching primary and secondary key for, you just have to bind by default it's space your jump key to the secondary jump key and not to the primary one, and you just keep jumping in the air like this. So before we knew about that, Wojtas was trying for a good hour trying to clip out of the wall and just jump across. And when he actually managed to hit it once, he failed the mission without falling down to the street, just hitting the roof. So we knew something was there. So yeah, we then just realized that there's a fail trigger and you have to just avoid hitting it. Right now this is the priest, so believe it or not, by incredible coincidence, we run away from the hotel that we didn't actually blow up, but we did. So running away from cops, we actually make it to a church, and in this very church, there is a funeral taking place, and this is the funeral for the guy we killed, like in the previous mission. So right now, hotel skip kind of made this mission harder, because normally you would have a sniper rifle here and also a shotgun. Because you get one from the hotel and then you get sniper rifle from a cop on the roof. But skipping the hotel doesn't spawn any cops on the roof. Actually, the sniper guy spawns, but he's just a texture. So yeah, right now you're just about to run away, and the thing is, if you're really lucky, you don't get any cop cars. But you know, playing this mission at least like 50 times, it only happened to me like once, maybe. About to be a lot more funerals up in this church.
No, it's okay. I think Tommy gave him the priest, he gave him some money, right?
Yeah. I was pretty surprised that the priest even took the money, because he was pretty upset with what Tommy was doing. But still, Jess is... I hope I don't curse it, but Jess is getting pretty lucky now, because he doesn't have many cop cars onto him, or like any at all. Yeah, the roof section spawned quite a few cops, and in the speedrun you would just run past them and hope you just don't shoot. They just don't shoot you, because at the very beginning of the church part there's a health pack, so you just use that. The thing with this car is just it's really heavy, so you can push other cars if you know, you can push cop cars with it if you want. Okay, this is pretty rare that Jess was not seen for long enough to lose the cop cars completely. So like even if he gets a cop car on the street now, it won't get triggered. And what's funny about this tunnel is that because of the pillars and the way they work, you can sometimes trigger the cops and untrigger them immediately.
Wow.
So it's quite
really?
Oh, cool. Accident?
Can I get a
sure.
time check? What time is it right now?
What time is it right now? Give me a second. It's 1:02:48.
Okay, that's not too bad.
It has a roof, but also doesn't. Yeah, it's kind of funny because this car doesn't really have a roof, but if you flip it, you don't die. So it's a good guy car.
Hey, Tommy. Ouais, j'ai une nouvelle bagnole.
It's not that rare to have no cops if you do camera glitch a lot. I mean, you can have them in the beginning, and you know they can just follow you. Is what I meant.
So just gonna listen to Ralphie He's gonna teach us how to steal this, I'm not sure what it is, Bolt Roadster V8 maybe?
Yeah, that's Bolt V8.
Yeah. And we're gonna do the same as we did in Fair Play. I'm just gonna slap him after he stops talking.
French, because French dubbing is 2 minutes faster than mostly any other, because the others don't really differ too much. And this game is kind of glitchy, but it's not, you know, the devs
GTA
were
level
not as
glitchy.
the devs were not as dumb to like, so that the lines do not get skipped if you just mute the audio. I haven't tried unplugging the your all audio hardware.
I
And what
think
would that
the game crashes.
The game crashes.
I think I was on a BB run once, and on Sarah I somehow unplugged my headphones, and the game just crashed.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was sad. It was a sad day.
Okay, the good thing about this game is that it has autosaves, and the problem with that, if you ever thought about playing this game on console, don't. And I'm not against consoles. I love consoles. I have a few consoles, but this game is shit on consoles. The PC port, the PC version is not a port. The PC version is the basing version, and the console ports are ports. And the Xbox One is bad, and the PS2 is just below bad. So like, out of the two, the Xbox is the better one, but it's not good, okay? It's better than PS2, but you know, it's better than shit, so it's still not good.
Yeah.
So,
Fuzimi screams.
Fuzimi screams at me right now. But yeah, I like the surrounding of this mission. Like, it's kind of right now it's just the rain is really cool. May I draw your attention to the fact that pedestrians have umbrellas with them. Realism. And yeah, the rain is pretty nice. The sound of the rain is really cool, and the farm part is just kind of creepy. So it's also kind of like it's thrilling a bit. Yeah, it had autosaves. And like it has a couple of autosaves every mission, and it saves instantly. So like, what I wanted to say with the console version is that Xbox doesn't have autosaves, or you can turn them off. I don't really remember, but it's not much of a problem. But PS2 has autosaves, and you cannot turn them off. So like, imagine, I don't know if you've spotted it, but since the beginning of the run, the game has been saved in the left bottom corner, has appeared quite a few times. Like, I would guess like more than 20 right now. So imagine that, but every time you get you get a saving screen on PS2 that takes like 30 seconds. Good luck. 50s car in the 30s, you're not supposed to get it. It's an Easter egg. So like, I don't really get the argument there.
Yeah, I'm just taking this this exact route in order to not spawn any enemies here. So I just go like this along the.
Yeah, one of the guys in the shed can chase you now, and you don't want that. You'd rather like, kill him when you get back there.
Easter egg is fitting since it's Easter. Hell yeah.
Yeah, since it's Easter, hell yeah. You cannot turn autosave off on PS2 because yeah, you just have to wait a lot on every saving screen, and on PC it's just, you know, in the background, so it doesn't really matter. The thing with this game that's pretty nice is that it has quite a few autosaves every mission. So if you crash or, you know, die or anything, then it's not that the run is completely dead and you just, you know, load your save state from up to, I don't know, maybe the worst would be like 5 minutes, but that's rare. You usually just load your save from like not so long ago.
Yeah, so this game was being developed at the same time as GTA 3, but came out a year later, I'm pretty sure, in like September 2002. And you can see the two different approaches that the developers took. Like, this game is like more linear. The city just serves as like a backdrop. You're just going from mission to mission. But in GTA 3 it's more open world. You can just fuck about, do side missions, rampages, collect packages, you know, stuff like that.
I mean, that's why they have two different modes for like more open world. And there's Freeride and Freeride Extreme. There are separate game modes that allow you to like cruise the city more openly, I guess. To kind of.
What the fuck?
The thing is, Mafia is not really comparable to GTA 3. I wouldn't say, like, even though they came out in a similar time, then like Mafia is more like if you liked Godfather, either the game or the movie, and you want something of that sort, then this game is for you. And if you like if you want to play this game for its story, then yeah, sure, because the story is pretty good. But if you want pure action and just really good gameplay, then it's not really the target. You're not really the target here. Yeah,
So
right now, this is the moment where in the story, your crime family against your crime family alone is going against the police and the other crime family, the Morello family, that has joined forces with the police, just because the police is bribed.
Let's see if they are aggressive here. Okay, they are. That's nice. Yes, I guess it's random if the car's chasing you. There's like 3 sets of cars. They are aggressive or not. If they're aggressive, then they can just like run into the truck, and you can shoot them really easily. But they can also like just stay behind, take forever to get to you, and they can just overtake the car and or the truck and that fail the mission.
What's funny is what you may have realized just now. Tommy just disappeared, and it's a blessing he did. And that's what that's a thing just here discovered, that if you in this particular section, in the shootout section, the game cannot really decide whether you're in a car or not, because you're kind of both. So if you hit the camera change button for the car, you disappear. And what's funny is that it's not only you're invisible, they cannot hit you with bullets.
Holy shit, what just happened?
What? It's not that you're... Whoa, okay. It's not that you're invisible, like I said, they cannot hit you with bullets, so the only way to die now would be to either from the explosion of any of the cars, or you can fail by if they take you over.
Oh, or they can just ram their car into you, and that also takes a little bit of damage from you.
Yeah,
also,
but it's not like it's still a lot easier than dying from their shots.
Also, please notice how I arrived to the warehouse with the bolt thrower, and now we're driving the car that Ralphie showed us. And that's simply because the developers just forgot to include the script that transfers vehicles over, so we just get forced to use this one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So this car, like, in comparison, isn't as bad, but you know, changing from both thrower into this is you're always feeling like you're really slow.
It's a bit of a shock. There's also, you may have noticed, while we're going on while I was going on the main road, basically, there's a car behind one of the walls, which is used for the Luca Bertone side mission, so we don't see it. But it's definitely faster than this one. It's like Lassiter V16 police version, I think. But the problem is, we can clip behind it, but then it's a pretty hard. Well, it's pretty slow to get the car out of the place where it is. You can sort of flip back into the onto the rail tracks that they're what the fuck am I saying? There's like rail tracks very near where you can clip through, but then you have to go around the whole fucking thing to get back on the main road, so it's not really faster.
What is the definition of a bad car in Mafia? In any percent, pretty much anything from the early game, from the first half of the game. Because what's happening in this game is that you don't get all the cars immediately, because as the story progresses, you know, years go on, and in the very beginning there are only a few models of cars driving on the streets, and you can open them. You learn to open them, but as you learn to open new ones, they also start appearing on the street more, and so like the further in the game, the better cars you get in general.
So now we found out that Frank, the accountant of the family, I think he's the accountant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He betrays the family, and now we need to kill him. But we don't know where he is, so we need to find that out first. And Vincenzo's gonna give us a traditional weapon that's used on Sicily for vendettas or something, which is the sawed-off.
Si j'avais su qu'un jour je devrais respecter les traditions siciliennes.
Also, there's pretty much no way of skipping these sections. Like, you always have to listen to them, except for this one instance, which it's gonna happen in the next mission, right? It's visiting rich people.
Yeah, I don't know how Puddingus figured out the cutscene thing, but yeah, we can skip Vincenzo once at least.
Oops, what am I doing?
And what Jess just did is just he ran towards Polly, he triggered
Ralphie.
him, and Ralphie. What did they say, Polly? Ralphie. He ran towards Ralphie, he triggered him, and he got into his car, because in this particular mission you just have to be close to him, and then it doesn't matter what you do else, you can just leave. But it depends, it varies from mission to mission, and you just need to know how to behave to get the fastest possible way to make it the fastest possible way of getting out of the bar.
So we're gonna go to Chinatown, talk to Big Biff. Maybe he has some information, but sadly he doesn't. He's gonna relay us to his like buddy that hangs out at around the art gallery on Central Island. So we're gonna go there and see if he knows. Spoilers, he also doesn't know, but he knows someone who does.
No, we're not French. French is just optimal because it's around 2 minutes faster than the other languages in this game. Because all the others are pretty similar to each other.
Yeah, I think the overall time is like 950 seconds of all the forced dialogues that you need to listen to. I'm not sure what's that in minutes. I just fucking divide
like
by
15.
60. 15?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Also, this place around this guy is pretty special, because even if we get chased by the cops, they just get stuck. Also, I parked really fucking badly, but whatever. Can I? No, I can't. Okay, we need to wait for him to speak and then we can get away.
Because with Big Biff you just trigger him and you can just go, but with this guy, you can't go until he starts speaking.
Yeah. So he tells us to find this this guy that hangs out below the Giuliano Bridge around Luca Bertone's car shop. And well, these two were kind of friendly and they just gave us all the information they had. This one is a prick and he doesn't want to tell us anything. So we're gonna need to take that information by force. And the easiest way to do that is just take a Colt and shoot him in the gut.
The boomer strat was hitting him with the car, but
Okay.
I can't really understand the logic behind that. Like, you would probably kill him most of the time. But yeah, you know, it would be technically faster by like a second, but I mean, you know, you can play it in any language you want. I never switched to the French because A, I don't want to, B, I'm lazy. but you know, it's just like, if you want the time saved, then you just play in French.
I have another marathon coming, Pastinia, a Czech marathon, where I'm most likely going to play this game in Czech just to see how it is.
Shame this game never got a Polish dubbing, because it would be like I always say, it would either be a classic like Gothic in Polish, in Poland, or just really shit and everybody would just laugh at it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna keep to the right, so I don't hit the phone booth here, because there's a very interesting glitch that we call a Lost Heaven space program, and if you crash into it before, or like if you come near it before you trigger the cutscene, after you skip the cutscene, you're gonna get launched into the air and you're gonna die. So you basically soft lock and you need to reload the last save.
Yeah, I wanted to show it off at ESA at the end of my run and it didn't work.
Yeah, I might show it off after this run if we have enough time. It's really quick, you just need to be fast. Ah. Yeah, so we basically found out the place where the FBI agents or something are holding Frank, because he's going into witness protection or something. So we just basically we can go straight from there to the airport where the car is heading, and we can load the next part. We don't have to follow them or anything.
Yeah, you cannot lose the car.
Dude, I don't know what pace this is, Peter.
Especially that it's going.
Yeah, it's going kind of well.
We have RTA.
Shit.
Especially that we count RTA and not IGT. Because this game, you know, on SSD, or I haven't tried on RAM disk, but it doesn't really matter since it's always about lowless.
Oh, yeah.
And on SSD you get like 2 minutes of loadings per 3-hour run, but on a really bad HDD you could get up to like 9. I think Vigbella had like 9 minutes of loadings, and he couldn't get in the boomer days of RTA only, when they didn't have the loadless timer. He couldn't get times as good as the others, and then they realized like that the gap was as big.
Okay, somehow the random pedestrian just stopped the truck.
Okay, this random pedestrian never really runs away, he just stays there.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So he stopped the car a little bit further away than we usually take it. And we even got a pop tire. Let's see if it's the front one or the back one. If it's the back one, then it's actually kind of good, because you can drift more easily.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
if it's the front one, then just the car just drives like shit.
So right now we just talk to Frank, you pick up some more Thompson ammo, you fight the other two guys. Funny thing here, there will be a guy in the phone booth, like trying to get reinforcements, and if you kill this guy, the police reinforcements do not come to the airport. But the thing is, this guy is treated as a pedestrian in the code, and on the German version is censored, and you cannot kill pedestrians. So like add that, you cannot kill this guy on the German version. So you just get cops, more cops on the airport, and you can't avoid that. But it's not really a huge problem. You just don't fight them. You just run away from them.
Yeah, and Tommy's being a real softie right now again, just like in the whore. We're not gonna kill Frank. He's just gonna tell us where the documents are that that's like the evidence that police are gonna use to
We just get the evidence, and he just tells us where the evidence is. We get the key to a locker in some bank, and we just have to go get it, and we just let him go.
Yeah.
Because he has already his plane tickets prepared.
Funny thing, if we somehow found a way to get the documents right after we get out of Salieri's bar, we can just immediately turn ourselves around and go back in, and it's gonna finish the mission. But the documents are just like... It's an item that gets forced into your inventory after you go to the bank. There's no real way of getting them in like the city. Like somebody had them on them, and you could just like search for their inventory. So like it's impossible. But it would be really cool if we could just skip the whole mission. Yeah, so we just let him go. We don't care.
With the like which game is a clone of which, like this game was in development when GTA 3 was, and I'm fairly sure it was a bit earlier than GTA 3 started to get into development, but don't quote me on that. I know it was in Mafia's like the project of Mafia started in 1999, but I'm not entirely sure when was GTA 3 started.
Interesting. Never happened before. Yeah, so we're just gonna go to the bank real quick and grab the documents that we need in order to finish up the mission. Here you can get, even though you're using the reverse camera, you can get pedestrians here on the crossing, and they can sometimes throw you off, and you can like hit the lamppost or something. And if you have a low enough health, you can die.
Yeah, the thing with pedestrians is that if you switch if you flip your camera, you also do not spawn any pedestrians on the sidewalks. But some in some particular places in the city, the pedestrians just cross the street, and it doesn't, like, flipping your camera doesn't affect those pedestrians. They will still be crossing the street, so they will still spawn. So that's what you have to be careful about, like really hard in Running Man, because then in the taxi mission, the Running Man, if you hit somebody on the street, you fail the mission. So you really want to avoid that.
Yeah, so in the next part, in Salieri's bar, we can actually skip all the shenanigans there. We don't have to talk to anyone. And I found, well, I was browsing some Mafia fan sites, and there were like tips and tricks, and somebody said that you can like trigger Vincenzo and walk away, and then he's gonna talk telepathically to you. And then I told it to Padingus, and then he just did some fuckery, and he found a way to skip all that. You don't have to talk to anyone whatsoever. But in order for that to work, you need to watch this cutscene for a bit before Tommy speaks.
So are you going for the Vinny skip?
Yep. So
Okay.
I just waited for that.
Yeah,
and,
I forgot it's Mr. World Record holder here. Okay, so yeah, you just wait until Tommy starts speaking, and then you can just leave.
I'm gonna take the car, park it in the loading trigger that loads the next part, and then I'm just gonna go to Vincenzo, trigger him at the table, and then I'm just gonna slap him and run away. And it shouldn't matter if we don't have a weapon here. I mean, it's kind of risky, sort of, but not really.
I mean, I stopped using my gun in this mission way before this skip was found, so it didn't really affect me at all.
Yeah, so close the next part, easy. We have 75 HP, but it shouldn't matter. I mean, this is the stealthiest mission in the whole game, okay?
This is the stealthiest mission in the entire game.
Exactly. We're gonna do it as stealthily as possible. We're not gonna attract any attention whatsoever towards us. And it's gonna be okay. So, I'm not sure what's the story, maybe Poker can fill, but we need to steal some documents from a mayor? I don't know who it is. Is it the mayor? Prosecutor. Alright. Yeah. And he's got a safe at his villa, but we're not, we don't know how to fucking open safes, so we need a specialist for that. And that specialist is called Salvatore. He's like the safe cracker, and we need to meet him at the stadium here to pick him up.
Yeah, the thing is, the prosecutor is supposed to be in the theater, so you're like you're like going in there at the best time so that like nobody. It's funny in the cutscene because Salieri says like so that nobody will be at home, you know, aside from all the guards and maids and such, and you're like, oh, okay, quote unquote nobody. Yeah, well, what he means is just like, you know,
Nobody important.
Nobody important. Yeah.
Yeah, so we picked up Salvatore. He always calls us chief. Or chef in this version.
In a second, Jess will be going up a hill, and
this is the steepest hill in the whole city. If you're driving the Boltes, you have no way of getting up there. Like, it's so slow, you might as well just get out and run.
Yeah, but it's made so that it's possible to get up there even with the slowest car, but it's gonna take forever. But what's funny is that going down the hill, the AI isn't really ready for such a steep hill, and they just crash all over the place. If you just in a speedrun, you just, you know, go through here twice, so you just have to get lucky to see it. But if you just stand there for like 10 minutes and, you know, go get something to eat and record all of the things that are happening, then you can just see.
Oi. Well, this is fucking unlucky. I've never got police here.
Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm not sure what to do now. I'm gonna
just
get out the
away,
car, I guess.
Oof. This is really a big oof.
Yeah, this is yikes.
I've never seen that. I've never had that.
Okay, I'm just gonna do a loop around or something.
Yeah. Yeah, never seen, never had. Pretty nice.
Since we don't have any weapons, we would, like, I don't know, we would need to force them out of the car and then, like, run them over.
Oh.
Yeah, that would not be good.
Oh.
Anyway, I parked the car. What the fuck? Okay, let's see if it works. I'm not sure. I'm gonna jump on the car. just so I have a little bit of immunity. Maybe they can't bust me here. But we're gonna do this mission very, very stealthily, as I said.
I mean, hopefully it works that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, just don't pay attention to the cops. We don't mean to. Just be careful
What
when
the
jumping
fuck?
down.
I think I got... Okay, this is fucking weird.
What?
I think they busted me in the cutscene.
Oh shit. Okay, just restart from
Yeah, this is weird.
the previous thing.
Okay, this is not going well.
Alright, so what's supposed to happen here? If you don't get cops, one of you know, that's the chance for getting cops. There's like 1 in, I don't know, 10,000. If you don't get cops here, and you just do it normally, what you do is you stand in a pretty in a set position, and if you keep hitting the use button, preferably even throughout the loading, and if you keep hitting it, you warp inside dimension with the car. So this is one of the skips that was, I think, discovered accidentally, and like and Itsu was the one to discover it, and it must have been a pretty massive bug to find that out. So like, instead of just going super sneaky, you just get in there with the car.
You spoiled it!
Oh no, not me. I mean, it was already, you could see the car, so you know. It was already looking pretty weird.
Yeah, that was fucking weird. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah, the cops may have affected it somehow. We just, you know, nobody knows if, you know, it's hard to tell if the cops affected that, because nobody hit cops there, like, ever. So that's the reason. Warping into
Oh my
dimension
God,
with the car?
dude.
No idea.
What the f-
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
I
Oh,
killed
oh.
Salvatore. Okay, this is going really, really bad now.
I don't really know Casey, to be honest, and I doubt anybody knows. Like, even we don't have our code monkeys are not really incredibly advanced, but they still know quite a lot. But I don't think there's an explanation for it.
I'm pretty sure that if you load the next part, the game for a split second still has the all the city and everything is loaded, and the first script is to unload it. And if you just time it well, you're just spamming the action key, you can get out of the car and it doesn't get unloaded.
All right, because you're like
Yeah, you're stuck in the animation of
you're
exiting
interacting with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, that's what Peter just said. So like,
now.
yeah, you interacting with the car blocks it from respawning.
The one time I read chat, I hit the fucking trap.
At least the spin was pretty hilarious.
Right, so it's picking up again.
Salut, chef. Allons-y.
Aye, jeez.
Alors, comme ça, il paraît que tu peux ouvrir n'importe quelle coiffure? Pratiquement tous, chef. Et où c'est que t'as appris à faire ça?
Jesse, you should read chat more.
Yeah, maybe it would be funnier.
Il y a certaines tirelires plutôt coriaces à forcer.
You may have seen that, like, on the example of how he just avoided that car. Jess is driving, like, he turns left and right pretty sharply, and that's because there are two main ways of controlling the car in this game: the primary keys and the secondary keys. And one would think it's pretty much the same. You can just set it to two keys, but for some odd reason, those are two different ways of driving your car. Because normally, if you set your left and right to the as primary keys, it's just normal. You just smoothly turn to the left and to the right, but which may cause you to spin in this particular car because it's really like easy to spin it. The thing with the secondary keys, which I think most of us use, I'm just used to the primary, so I don't want to switch to the secondary ones. But the secondary just makes you go to extremes. So hitting left makes Tommy turn the wheel immediately to the left, and the same goes for the right, obviously. So you can just avoid spinning like this if you're you know used to using the secondary keys.
Stealth.
So right now, stealth, by the way. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You can just go. Why are they shooting you? What? Okay, no idea what happened there.
Should be fine.
Should be fine. Stealth, by the way, and right now he parks the car in a position so that when he gets out of the house, he's kind of covered by the car because two guys with shotguns will go after him.
Also, this master safecracker can't open a simple lock, so he just busts in the door.
Yeah, he kicks in the door. Stealth, by the way. And yeah, right now you just get to the safe, you open it, you get the papers. It's important that you know, you open the safe in the cutscene, like Salvatore opens the safe in the cutscene, but you have to pick up the documents after the cutscene. And you know, if you ever try to leave this house without the documents, then you'll probably remember to pick them up every other time. So right now, the car is already started because the engine is already started because Jess already started before the cutscene. And right now the problem is that shotguns are kind of like in GTA 3. So like if they hit your car, it's pretty easy. Your car doesn't really get fire or anything. It just explodes after a few shots. So it's not as bad as in GTA 3, but it's still pretty bad. So you don't want to get hit too much.
And since we're not a rude person, we're actually gonna close the door behind us, and that actually makes Salvatore follow you a bit more. I think Pedingus told me about it a few weeks ago, and I started doing it, and it works pretty much every time, because sometimes Salvatore can just get stuck somewhere in the hallway and he just refuses to go, and you're waiting for him and he can get killed, or or the shotgun guys just fucking use all of their ammo and you explode just as Salvatore is getting in. So you need to reload and do it all again.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's kind of funny because when Lambox was trying this out, follow someone a bit more. What it means is he follows you more carefully, I guess. Like he doesn't get stuck.
Yeah.
Or he doesn't just stay somewhere without a reason. Like, you know, classic AI crap.
We'll just drop off Salvatore and go back to Salieri's, because it was a long day. Even longer in our case, because we needed to reload like 3 times or 2 times, I'm not sure. Yeah, the next mission is just a big shootout in this multi-level parking garage. Then we just grab this a truck that has some goods loaded up. I think it's whiskey, isn't it? And
yeah, because it's still the time of prohibition, so
yeah.
Whiskey is pretty valuable.
And then we just need to drive it to the Salieri's warehouse, which we already visited in Trip to the Country. But what can happen on our way there is that the goods can instantly get damaged somehow. For example, if you drive over sidewalks or if you drive over the rail tracks or tram tracks, and like you fail the mission and you need to restart again. Are we gonna sing, Poker?
I'm probably gonna be super out of sync.
Alright. I guess it's up
You
to
can
me
do
then.
it yourself if you want, yeah. Because there is a scripted song in this game, and if in this mission, and if you don't sing it, then your run is automatically invalid.
Exactly.
And I've managed to actually, find a way to avoid that by just muting the music, but don't tell that to anybody. But yeah, the shootout is pretty fun because you get a Thompson with a shitload of ammo, and there's just one place you can die if you're not careful enough, and or the AI can just block you, and you want to run away, but you still die. But other than that, this shootout is pretty okay.
I'm a big pussy.
You're better than dying, I guess. So you're supposed to just go down every level, but we're just gonna go to the stairs instead. In a second. Right now, just picks up 3 grenades. The real pussy strats is picking up 4 and then killing all the guys, and I mean all of them. But yeah. But that's just me. Right now, you just throw 1 grenade into the staircase so that it goes down, because at the end of the staircase there's a car and you want to blow it up. And then after you blow it up, you just throw another grenade. But you need to be careful, because the guy, one of the guys he shot right here, has a grenade normally. And if you don't throw the first grenade properly, he'll walk up to you and throw a grenade at you, and you're in a staircase, and AI is following you. So like they can block you, and you have a grenade nearby, and you can die from it. But if this thing with the grenade doesn't happen, and you just throw a proper second grenade there, so like not the one that bounces off a wall, but the next one. If you throw it properly and you don't get stopped and stun locked by the guys shooting you, then you should be totally fine. So right now, if
You cats keep eating up your chops, I ought to turn you over to the cops. But the spiel I'm gonna lay on you, Gate, don't copy broom, park the body and wait. I'll run your mouth and I'll run your business. What the fuck am I singing? Run business, brother. Tell everybody I'm busted. You talk so much you've got me disgusted. But you run your mouth and I'll run my business, brother. You run your mouth and I'll run my business, brother. You run your mouth and I'll run my business, brother. You started telling me you're my pal, but end up telling me how to handle my gal. You run your mouth and I'll run my business, brother.
You run your juicy mouth and I run my business, brother. Just run your juicy mouth and I run my...
Yeah, that's basically the whole song, because I think it stops after you cross the bridge, right?
I think so. And yeah, with this car you have to be pretty careful because you have the damage bar, but also going over 60 on sidewalks and train tracks can cause you to just get maximum damage for some reason. Stops when you are far enough from gangsters. Okay.
But they can catch up to you after it.
But the thing is, you can also kill the gangsters that are supposed to chase you, and take their car if you're at it. And when you're at it, and it's a bit faster, and like you don't have the crates on the back, and you don't have to fight them if you don't run away from them, right? Because you know they don't exist anymore. That still, it's a pretty big pussy strat because it costs you like 30 seconds. Okay, maybe not 30, but quite some time. Thank you, D. Joshimus, for 1 bit.
What?
What? Okay, so they caught up to you.
Yeah, but they didn't go inside the gate we took, but they just took the other gate and parked in front of it. Which never happened before.
So it's just not really common, yeah.
Yeah, so now for Salieri wants to take a lunch. And as a coincidence, his driver got sick, so we need to drive him ourselves.
And by the way, it's a double Godfather reference. But I'll just explain that on the way back, probably.
C'est un cuistot de première. Quand une spécialité du pays me manque, je vais le voir. Attends de goûter à ces fromages, tu pourras plus t'en passer. Oui, j'y ai ta beau cuistot. Mais pepe.
But yeah,
Pepe.
you're just driving him to lunch. What bad can happen, right? 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 Yeah, it's gonna be a heavy shootout here.
Yeah, so you should generally be careful about cops here, because if you get them, especially right in front of the restaurant, then if you get out of the car, Salieri just gets fed up with you and it'll fail the mission. So you need to be careful. Also, if you're still wanted and you exit the car in front of the restaurant in order to go to the incognito mode, and then you can trigger the cutscene. If you get back into the car, the game will likely crash. So you just get out and stay outside. Also, my audio just broke. It's like robotic. I'm not sure if you can hear that.
Right now, he just shoots this guy to get his Thompson, because normally you only have a Colt. And you get in this corridor to shoot some more guys, and depending on RNG,
Wow, that's a
you can either get them
never
on
mind.
like. Yeah, never mind, because the problem is sometimes they line up with the door so that you cannot shoot them. And if you want to shoot them, you need to go a bit outside, but the a bit outside is enough for them to kill you, especially if they have shotguns. So like quote-unquote good pattern would be getting them in the corridor so you could just shoot the shit out of them and kill most of them when they're going at you. But this is kind of bad because the door is kind of, you know, like I said, it's preventing you from shooting them, but they shoot you on sight. So it's like, you know, you don't want to get out of there, and you can't really lure them into the corridor. They sometimes just stay outside and wait for it. So normally you'd go around the
What
building,
the
but
fuck?
because we wanna be speedy, then yeah, exactly. So like the guys with shotguns are probably the most annoying here. That's why this shootout is really bad.
This is why the estimate is so high, by the way.
Yeah, because this mission can really screw you over.
Well, not just this mission, this whole game.
Yeah,
just
but
turn wrong
like,
and
moments like this, especially. You see, like this guy. Good thing he has a Thompson, cause you know the Thompson has. Even if he starts shooting you and you start shooting him,
Is it
you'll
all
kill
of
him eventually. But if a guy
guess
with
it
a
is.
shotgun shoots you on sight, you're dead.
So I'm just gonna grab a shotgun real quick as well.
Ooh. Is it what I'm thinking? Huh?
I'm not sure what you're thinking of, but
Like
the clip.
there is one purpose. Yeah, there is one purpose. You pick up the shotgun here.
Man, I mean it's free, so why not do it?
Yeah, I could never do it. So I never learned it properly. Rather,
Ah,
it's probably
nice.
easy, but
Yeah.
so there's a.
Yeah, go ahead.
on.
Sorry.
So there's a clip in this. You're going now to like. Okay, so the lore is that Salieri was betrayed by his bodyguard. That's a classic from The Godfather, right? Being betrayed by his bodyguard. But the bodyguard's name is Carlo, and Carlo is another betrayer from The Godfather. So that's like double reference. Cool, right? So you're now going to the betrayer's apartment to kill him, and you can clip into a wall there to skip some time. And the thing is, the clip is pretty much the same as killing him normally if you clip manually. What I mean manually is that you can make the game clip yourself into the wall. So you need to do two clips, and the first one can be done by the game, and you don't have to do anything. The way you do it is that you triggering the door starts loading the game, makes the game load. But if you trigger the door, you still have like a second or something before the game actually loads. So then you just go to the left and run into a wall, and if you do that, then during the loading you'll be pushed forward into the wall instead of through the door. So that way you can just clip into the wall for free, and you just need to clip out of it manually. And yeah, like this. So you're now into the wall. In the wall, you kill the guys that would normally defend Carlo, and you clip out of the wall, and you kill Carlo himself. Normally you would chase him through his apartment, but he's already spawned on the fire escape. Right now, aside from the first one, the shortest mission in the game, and the one that has the most annoying beginning. You trigger Ralphie, and you get into a car. And the problem with this bit is that normally, right here, you have to be really close to him until he starts opening the car. So that's already kind of annoying, but that's pretty common. So it's not, it's alright. But then, normally, whenever you get the message that you already know how to open the car, you can just leave. Not in this case, because that's the shortest mission in the game, so the game just makes sure it's not too short. Because, why be fast, right? So you have to wait until he sits on the box again. So the clip out of the wall that just did is kind of tricky, but it's easier. The easiest clip is with two-handed weapons. So that's why he picked up the shotgun, because this is pretty precise, and it's easier. It's it's easier to do it with just two-handed weapons. So Happy Birthday is just a story of killing a politician, because he's not, alright with us. So he wants to fight crime, so we fight him, and we win. Spoiler. So here there's you just need to dress as a, how do you call this guy? Because I constantly forget the name of this. Sailor, exactly. I've commentated like 2 or 3 rounds of this game in English already, and I never remember the word sailor. But you have to get a sailor suit so that you're allowed onto the ship, and you're being searched, so you cannot really see, man. Yeah, could also work.
See, man.
You cannot have a weapon with you, but there is a weapon Vincenzo has hidden on the ship. So normally you have to get the key from other sailor to the toilet, and then get what route are you using? Oh, it's the new thing, right? Okay. So normally you would do a lot of stuff, but the politician is right behind this door, and you normally can just hit people through the door. So you just do this, and he dies. That's it. The mission never checks if you progressed any. The mission just checks if the politician is dead. If the politician is dead, then the mission just finishes, and that's it.
And this is your improvement.
So this is the good kind of mission that just checks if you did the last thing in it, and if you did, then it's done. Oh, and this is actually wait, my improvement, and you're not taking the bolt through it?
I'm just gonna wait for Paulie to trigger Vincenzo himself, and that makes him in this like stuck running animation for some reason. And after this talk with Vincenzo finishes, if you spam the action button, for some reason, Paulie will talk to... What the fuck? Okay, I fucked it up. What would happen is that if you spam the action button after
you're too far away from
after the talk was finished, Paulie would... Okay, never mind. It still worked, okay? Yeah, he's just talking to Ralphie telepathically somehow.
So yeah, I actually found it somehow by accident, but I don't really remember how. But yeah, if you let Paulie trigger Vincenzo, and then you can just make him trigger Ralphie telepathically, and it's pretty cool.
I am confused.
It's kind of faster.
I am giga confused.
Okay, it's faster by like
8 seconds.
8 seconds, yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Where's my baseball bat, Vincenzo?
Yeah, if we could somehow trigger Vincenzo ourselves, and Paulie would still talk to Ralphie telepathically, then it would be a lot faster. But sadly, we need to wait for him to get into Vincenzo's place. Ah, shit.
Whoops. The mechanic guy is pretty characteristic. So yeah.
Yeah, so this mission is pretty fucking long because shit goes wrong. Like, you're supposed to kill Sergio Morello, who's like I think he's the right hand to Don Morello of the
yeah, because he's his nephew.
Yeah, the head of the other family that controls the city. But like, our attempts just keep failing. You know, in this first part, Paulie has a brilliant idea of just calling Sergio while he has a lunch in the restaurant over there, and we just want to talk to the guy, and he comes to the phone, and Paulie kills the guy from like he stands
that's completely not Sergio, which is kind of funny because we know how Sergio looks like, and you know how does Sergio look like, and he still shoots the guy, so I assume you just know he just wanted to shoot anybody that came to the telephone.
Yeah, Paulie just stands around in front and waits for us to give a go, and he shoots him. But it's a different kind of, it's a completely different person, and he shoots him even if we tell him. I guess Tommy screams something, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not gonna make killing Sergio any easier since, you know, you tried this hit. The thing is, not only you wanna leave the lose the cops here, but also there are some goons chasing you, and you wanna lose them because if you lose them, then you can just go straight to the bar, and if you don't, then they come to the bar, and Polly has a Thompson, but as always, you only have some pistols, and it's annoying to get rid of them. So if you lose them, then that's one problem less. Also, right now he's just going to this is the second approach to killing Sergio, getting a bomb underneath his car. He's at his mistress's house, and the car is there. So like, long story short, you just put the bomb there, and it's his girlfriend who leaves the house and gets in the car and blows up. And Tommy then says in the cutscene, "Damn, that's one hot dame." And you're like sitting there, and you're like, "Tommy, please stop!" Like, damn it.
Whoa.
Yeah, this game is a bit Mafia 2 if you count the end.
Yeah, Peter has a theorized fireworks skips, he calls it, because this mission part is called fireworks. You need to, after we get there, there's a guy standing around guarding the car that we need to plant the dynamite on, and if you plant the dynamite under the car before he disappears, he's having a smoke break, and if you plant it before he goes back into the house, he's just gonna scream at you what you're doing there, and then his friend comes out of the building with a shotgun, and they're just gonna try to kill you, and if they don't kill you, then the mission is gonna fail, that Sergio escaped or something. But if you trigger this planting of the bomb, and then you get as further away as that bush or tree is, you could skip all that. Like, the AI breaks or something, and you can just immediately run back and plant the bomb. You don't even have to worry about him getting back inside the car. But there's no way of getting there fast. Like, you need to do it in like 3 seconds, I think.
Like it would require you to use something like a mega jump, like
Yeah.
really fast movement we're talking here.
Or we could maybe do it if we skip the entering animation to the ball thrower. Like, maybe it would be really fucking tight, but it may be possible. Like, you would
right
skip
now it's not possible, but it's theorized that it works. But we would just need a really fast way of movement.
Exactly.
So right now you're just going kind of the same way to another restaurant where Sergio is supposed to be, and Polly has another great plan of just shooting him with the Thompson, but the Thompson will just break and you won't be able to do it.
The key is jammed.
The case, yeah, exactly, the case jammed. Okay, be right back.
Oh god. Yeah, so the audio is completely broken for me. I hear everything in robotic voice, especially if Poker just speaks. It's really horrible. I'm not sure if I should try and fix it. I'm not even sure how to fix it. But as long as you guys on stream don't hear it that way, then it's okay.
Arrête-toi sur ce parking. Ces mecs en noir, c'est eux.
So the attempt at the Sergio's life just failed, and we need to get away. So this bridge can be up or down, also just like in Running Man.
But if you're lucky, it isn't. Then it's faster if you're lucky.
Yeah, you can either reload the checkpoint and hope that it's down that time, or just go around like reverse route basically. Go under the bridge and then up it and go into the tunnel.
Yeah, if you're just just kill him, lol. If you're about to reload the save, you might as well just risk it and go.
Use the back exit
reload
because
dump.
there's a there's a police officer. Yeah, so now the professionals got to work and they were trying to kill Sergio by ramming him onto the rail tracks while a train would ram him over and kill him basically. But they were pushing him into the rail tracks, and they thought that the driver would just try and reverse out of it, but instead he was such a cosmic brain that he just put the gear into the first and just ran off. So instead they got pushed away by the train and got killed.
And got hit, yeah. The French version is here because it's 2 minutes faster than pretty much any other dubbing version. Gale. What I want to say is shoutouts to the OC who spent like a good hour trying to get this guy out of the car in this part, and he managed to do it. He managed to stop the car and get he managed to get the driver out. What's funny is the car kept going even without the driver because the scripts are still working. Even if you get into the car will still be going forward. If you just hold brake, then you can just eventually stop. But if you stop braking, he'll just go forward still. The car will just go forward. And what's funny is that the game doesn't check if Sergio is dead now. So if you kill him, nothing happens. Which kind of, you know what? Thank God it doesn't, because if that strat works, then it's like, you know, if a world record atom got it, then it would be completely dead. Because like, good luck saving like a minute or two here, and then trying 100 times to do it again. So in this, it would be a really cancer strat if it worked. So kind of good thing the game doesn't check if Sergio is dead.
Windows sound.
Oh yeah, Windows sound here is completely normal, and you know, when I did my first run, and probably I wasn't the only one, I freaked out when I heard the Windows sound. But it's totally normal.
So I'm just gonna do a little drive-by and destroy the fuel tank, which in turn will kill all the snipers that are on these cranes. So we won't get disturbed here while we try and let this train go and get inside the depot where Sergio is hiding.
Yeah, so so we just wanna hit the garage with the train. You're going for the car and shooting strat, right?
Right, yeah.
Medium. Because
Definitely.
the slow struts is going in there with a Thompson you've picked up earlier. The medium struts and what Jess is going to do is getting in there with the car so that the car is kind of your cover, but you shoot Sergio with your gun with a using drive-by, and like the super YOLO struts are just getting there and just hitting Sergio and hoping you you hit him hard enough to kill him and you actually hit him. But yeah, this is the kind of safe strat, and this is like something in between because it's safe and should be okay. You just hope the guys with shotguns don't shoot you too much. Oh, and this is kind of cool because Jess once came to the Mafia Discord and said like, do you know that the back door from the harbor may be faster if you do it properly? And pretty much at least half of us was like, wait, there is a back door from the harbor? What are you talking about? Like, running this game for quite some time, and most of us, or like at least half of us, didn't know there was a back door from the harbor. And yeah, getting here, getting to this car and using this car is about 15 seconds faster. I think.
It's kind of funny because Fuzimi, who runs the console versions of the game, needs to use this back exit because the normal exit will make him fall through the floor apparently.
It's like it's not the word clone isn't really clear. What it means is just GTAMarathon can also have games similar to GTA. Doesn't matter if they were based on GTA or not. Because if you take into consideration that Mafia 1 was made in the same time as GTA 3, then you could say it's like based off, I don't know, Driver 2 or something, but totally not GTA if 3D GTA wasn't a thing even. Does the Steam GOG version have any notable differences compared to Retail? Besides music, it's just normal 1.2 version of the game. So you just have to downgrade. If you want to run on this version, then you just downgrade it to 1.0 to make the race shortcut work.
Now comes creme de la meme. We're gonna rub out Morello family once and for all. We're gonna kill Don as well. He's watching some theater play or something, and we're gonna pay him a visit
Othello
there.
even. I remember now still. And
we need to both of the guys, Polly and Sam, with us, so we need to take a 4-door car. But immediately after we load the next part, we can just switch to the bolt thrower.
And you don't need to take them with you, because the moment you load the next part, they will be just like given to you. And the game doesn't really check if you have a 4-door car. If you have a 2-door, then one of them, then Polly is just with you in the car, and Sam is just out there on the street. And you just have to be careful not to run him over, because you kill him.
Yeah. So there's like, casually there's like 2 ways of killing Don Morello. He can either go to the airport where there's like this little shooting section, and you shoot down his plane after that, or he can continue like forwards, and he can go to this unfinished bridge where you just ram him off in the cutscene and he dies.
And both of the ways were pretty impressive when I was playing this game as a 12-year-old. So right now it probably doesn't look as good, but considering it's 2001, I would still say it's pretty nice. 2002. 2002, I would say it's pretty nice. Right now, you need to make sure you take out the weapon here, because if you don't, then normally Polly starts shooting him, but because Polly's not here, nobody is taking a weapon out of your car, and Morello's driver will not be spooked. He'll be just driving normally. So you have to be the one to take out the weapon and spook him to make him drive faster. What's funny is that if you go too fast, it counts as the game doesn't really, because the fastest car you can have right now, quote unquote, you can have, is supposed to be equal to his car so the game doesn't really realize that you can be in front of him or like far in front of him. You could be like equal to him but not faster than him. So if you get too far away from him, then you can lose him, and the fail state is that you lost Morello, which is kind of funny because it's more like he lost you and not you lost him. Right here, at this turn, it's important to not spin. It's important to just get this turn at kind of a really good position and also high speed. So you just catch up to Morello, you block him. Oh, nice. You block him, and Polly shoots him because Morello is trying to shoot you too. So so when it's kind of like drive-through.
Shout out to Polly for killing him first try, pretty much immediately.
Shout out to Polly, because yeah, it doesn't happen too often. Polly is a dumbass. So yeah, and shoutouts to Fuzimi who managed to do this trick with the slowest car in the game. And it was on Xbox and not PS2, but he made it happen on Xbox and with the slowest car in the game.
You can sort of like force this driver of his car to go on the grass where he loses like traction, so he gets into this little bit of a slide, and then there's a gap between Polly and Morello, and he can shoot him better. But even if you do that, like sometimes Polly can just miss all of his shots, and it's fucking unlucky. So pretty much that's the whole mission. Now we just go back and have a siesta or something.
If you screw up the positioning at the loading screen, then you're screwed pretty much, and you have to figure out a way to kill him, and it takes a long time. So it's pretty much it's really essential to just pay attention to your position and your speed.
Yeah, so Poker realized here that you can trigger Ralphie pretty much immediately if you get the good cycle. I'm not sure I did. Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, you should be able to do it.
I just missed it.
I didn't discover it. Beater was doing it for ages before I...
Really?
The thing is, of course, the thing is, right here, you need to trigger Ralphie, as always, but the thing is, he goes to the car, and he's scripted to go to the car and kneel and work a bit, and you have to like mash use and wait like 20 seconds before he gets up and talks to you. But on the screens where it says like 1930 something, you can sometimes walk, and like your inputs still work. So like usually to make it consistent, you don't use your mouse, just your keyboard. And right here you can just move a bit forward so that you catch Ralphie right as he approaches the car and before he starts working on it. So it saves you like 20 seconds, maybe less, but it's really good to know how to move on this black screen. The only time Vincenzo gives you a powerful weapon could be, yeah. It's a pretty good sniper rifle.
So now we need to go to the old prison, where we can snipe off this politician that's giving a speech on the island very nearby. But we don't know that there are hobos living there, and they have weapons.
Yep, and we have to fight them. But the thing is, there is a worker. To get to the old prison, we have to get into a tunnel, and there are workers there. And there is one particular one. There's one particular one which stands near the entrance to the tunnel. And normally you would kill him, and I didn't really know that, but you can leave him alone. Then he calls the cops. You can kill him, and then cops come because his body was there. And you can also kill him and get him into the tunnel, and that makes so that
Sidewalks.
the cops aren't onto you. But it takes time, so we don't do it. but I never knew. Nice 360. I never really knew that getting him into the tunnel was a possibility. How many times did just flip? Twice now, I think. Yeah, flipping your car in this game, flipping this car in this game is pretty common. As you may have seen.
Now let's hope my car doesn't despawn, because for some reason it can despawn even if you park it
It's
in the exact same place as you do it usually.
it's weird. It's pretty rare for it to despawn, but it can despawn. So right now you just ignore everything the man here says. Because hey, we're the mob, we do what we want, yo.
So there's a way to make Tommy invisible here as well, but it doesn't help as much as in Trip to the Country. It doesn't help at all, actually. He's just invisible, but it has no effect on the AI. I didn't go for it because you need to scope in before you trigger the next part. You climb the ladder, I think. Okay.
Yeah, I've never had the car despawn in the bank heist. Yeah, you can just go yellow here, just like Jess did, because there is a health pickup here.
What the?
And you can just not kill anybody.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna do it with 4 shells.
Okay. Should still be doable. And you need to kill this first guy, then kill
I'm
this
fucking
second guy.
Okay, this is Monka Omega. Okay,
the guy that was
think I'm
not on
dead.
the stairs. The guy that was not on the stairs. Oh, God. And this guy with the shotgun is also one you need to kill. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Big Monka, big Monka. GTA Monka in the chat.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Okay. I don't have any weapon.
He
Fuck.
survived.
I need a gun to destroy the lock. Ah shit.
Wait, you don't have anything?
I think I dropped it.
Just reload, because you have a safe like
I'm gonna keep the
on the snipe spot.
Mazen, yeah.
Okay. So you need a weapon to destroy the padlock in a second.
So you can jump off if you have high enough HP, but I don't, so
If you
I
have
need to
like
take it
60,
safe.
you can just jump. But if you have below
Oh my
60,
God,
you just go like this. And you have to be really careful about dogs, because well, yeah, they're here and they don't like you too much.
Yeah, the sniper rifle isn't too accurate. I think I'm gonna try and
nice. The sniper rifle isn't too. Yeah. Oh, you wanna snipe the padlock? The thing is gonna collapse, dude.
yeah, I realized that. Okay, I'm gonna have to kill them. I'm sorry, Peta or Peta. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but okay, fuck me, dude. This is going well.
Yeah, the problem with the dogs is that, you know, every hit they take like 15 HP from you or something. So like having 9, it's just one HKO. Oh, HKO. But yeah, since you have dogs here, you can just do incentives about either killing them or saving them.
1 bullet.
So,
Do you
hey.
think I can hit the fucking padlock?
I hope so.
I didn't.
Jesus.
Oh my god, dude, this is bad. I need to fucking find the gun that I dropped. But I think it despawns, right? It doesn't get saved across.
I don't really know. I don't really know.
Okay, this is fucking terrible, dude. This is like the worst thing that can happen here. You need 2
You need
bullets
2
for the
bullets for the lock? What?
What? Okay, that's news to me.
I love how the world record holder and I've been playing this game for like 2 years now.
Okay,
We didn't know about that, and we get to know about that on the marathon. Oh, there we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Yeah.
Eventually.
Eventually.
Gonna work.
So
Yeah.
right here we have cops and we want to get away from them. Oh, you just get killed. Perfect. The thing is, yeah, they can shoot us when we're in the car. That's annoying.
Oh god.
You just wanna get away. Gotta get away. Get away. Holy diver. And the thing is, there is this weird bug that can occur here. One of the cops could get into you, get with you in the car for some odd reason. He wants to chase you, so he gets into your car as a passenger. And then when you come near Salieri's bar, he can drive by you when he's still in the car. And that's kind of a problem, because if you cover his window so that he cannot shoot you from his window, he'll move to the driver's side and still shoot you. So it's like really hard to, and like if you don't have 100 HP, then it's kind of weird, because you know he has a Magnum, which is like probably the most powerful pistol in the game if it comes to the damage given, and you just die then. So it's all over again, because you just die in front of the bar. Right here, it's just for relaxation, which used to be a pretty annoying mission. Not like annoying, but pretty boring mission, because it contained like waiting for like a minute. But now it's all skipped because of the JFR skip found by nobody other but Pringus and Beater, who already like theorized a few skips and then just tested them and they worked. So that's one of them. It's pretty major because it saves like up to 3 minutes, I think. If you get the clip properly.
Yeah, it's
Something
like 3 minutes.
Merci, Alfie.
So it's pretty nice. So what you're supposed to do here is you're supposed to jack a truck and get it back to the harbor and load it with the with crates you're not supposed to have. And then when they realized, the moment they realized that you're not supposed to have those crates, you just leave and you just get away, right? So what we used to do is we would get the truck when it leaves the harbor, not follow it to where it's unloaded. We would just get the papers kill the driver, get the papers from him, and we would unload the truck on the street ourselves. We just needed to make sure it's far away enough from the harbor so that because if you jack a truck too close to the harbor, the mission fails. So that was the old strat. You would also normally leave Sam at one place where you need to get the truck to when you run away. But right now we skip all of that. We go straight to the harbor, we clip through a wall, and we get the truck when it's supposed to, like, we get the truck where it's placed right now, because it spawns at the very beginning. And we just get the truck to the loading zone.
Okay,
and it
no way
skips
that's
the
happening.
entire. It skips everything up until the. It skips everything up until the harbor. So you don't have to wait for the truck. You don't have to unload it. You don't have to go with it back and stuff like that. So you don't have to leave Summit. Right now, what Jess is trying to do is just like that, the Falconer clip.
It's the only instance of it. We only use it here.
Yeah, because it's just faster than clipping normally. Because you just if you just get it first time, then it's faster than clipping manually.
Ah, rip.
You just make sure. Rip? Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
crap.
this is bad. You need to hit this trigger.
So, yeah, exactly. So what happens there is he failed it, but he'll just try it again, I assume. What happened there is you need to hit the trigger with the you need to kill the guy before he, because the moment you start shooting the guy, the truck gets loaded with crates. So you need to kill him as fast as possible, get his papers, and then get into the truck and drive it. By the way, if you fail the escape, you need to reload from the menu because the AI doesn't, the scripts do not get cleared properly, and you need to restart the game from the menu to reset them, because otherwise your truck will be too slow. Oh, you don't need to load from the menu if you didn't get to the papers cutscene. Okay, never mind. So he didn't need now, but if you fail, if you get the cutscene and fail in the cutscene, you have to restart the game from the menu. But right now, what he was trying to do is he was trying to hit the trigger that's near the gate. The tricky part is there are two triggers inside of each other, and there is like the big fail trigger. If you hit it, you fail the mission, and also a small trigger you actually need to hit inside the big one. So the thing we do is we just slam into the trigger. We hit the one that makes the mission progress. And the fail trigger kind of gets ignored. What I understand is that the fail trigger has kind of a waiting time. So like the mission still waits a couple of seconds before it fails. There we go. So he just hit the right trigger, and the fail trigger didn't trigger actually. It didn't work. So that's how it's supposed to look. And if you don't fail in the cutscene, then yeah, good job. You've actually skipped everything up until the hard one.
Yeah, OC in his PB run spent like 20 minutes trying to get this skip, so it's not really well.
Yeah, it's not something you do in a run, just by with your chat telling you what to do. You actually have to learn it. Right now, this is also a fairly new strat. Normally, you load the crates. You first talk to this guy, to the I don't know, the foreman, however you call him. He's like the guy that
the guy.
gives other. Yeah, he's the guy. So like normally you just talk to the guy, but if you place the truck near the wall and that's important. You turn its wheels before you leave it, so that the wheels kind of turn towards the wall. You can load the crates through the wall, and it's pretty cool.
Is Mafia 2 speedrunnable? Yeah, but
Mafia
yeah,
2 is also speedrunnable.
It's a lot more.
It's a lot more.
It's a lot more chill than this. Like, there's not many skips and stuff.
But it's pretty like fast-paced, so it's pretty okay. And what's funny is that we had no idea why does it work and why does it not work if you don't turn the wheels. But recently, Beater made some experiments, and it turned out that if you drop the crate, because we're not actually loading them, we're actually dropping them, and they should fall onto the ground instead of getting through the wall normally. If the crate has two places in the mission, like the place where it's placed initially, and the place where you should place it, which is the truck. If you're closer to the place where it should be placed, so the truck, which you are, and you're in front of the truck, and you drop a crate, it gets teleported to the back of the truck, right? So you want that. You want to be in front of the truck. But we're on the side, so what the hell happens that we can still do it if we're on the side? Probably, this is the guess. the wheels turned mean that the game the front of the car differently. It's not exactly the front of the car, but the front of the wheels. So if you turn them, it's a different place. So if you turn them to the side, you yeah, you just that's what I said is what Peter said, like shorter. So if you turn them to the side, you can switch the place where you can stand to teleport them, and that's what happens there. And if you don't turn the wheels, then it's still in front of the truck, and you would have to be in front of the truck actually, and not like the fake front.
Okay, en route.
So it's
Wait,
it's
is
a
he in already? Okay.
pretty major too. You it's good if you lose all of them and you just come there and say like, yeah, I lost them. It's not like you always lose them. If Tommy says he lost them, it's not always true. Sometimes you just get a little further away from them and he still says it, but you can just take Polly with you and run away still, or they can just catch up to you and still get you. Streamer, will you show off killing enemies with bullets? He won't, because he doesn't have a trainer installed. Not on this game at least, because it's vanilla for speedruns, I assume.
What do you know? What if I'm cheating?
What if you're cheating? What Mary is referring to is if you're close to, like, if you're shooting an enemy, if you're close to them, you deal damage. If you're far away enough, you stop dealing damage because you know the gun has a range, right? So you just stop giving them damage. But if you're perfectly on the line between not giving damage and giving damage, the moment you shoot them, you actually heal them for some odd reason, and it's kind of funny. It's not a lot. If the guy has 1000 HP, every shot heals him by about 0.7 HP, but still you heal them when you shoot them, when you're on the line.
What's the timer at right now?
Give me a second. Right now, 241, about,
okay,
or thereabouts.
So this is like, oh shit, 310? I don't know.
What?
310? I guess pace.
20, counting like 20 minutes for moonlightning. So like, let's say that you finish this in a minute. So that's 243. Let's say 20 minutes for moonlightning, 303. 4.5, yeah, 308, 310, something like that.
Good.
Well, with all the crap that happened, it's still okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the best part of the game is the train part, which is like a 4-minute cutscene pretty much. Oh yeah, master race percent is Peter just said master race percent. If you don't know what master race percent is, do you remember the first car not the first car we drove in the game, but the car that I said was the worst, like the pickup, we drove the pickup version of it. The master race percent is Mafia any percent, but you're only allowed to use that car. Right now, just clips through the wall. It's not a lot faster, but it saves some time. If you get it first time especially, because normally you would have to go to the corridor and use the staircase to go down and get to the door. So like it's setting up a clip and clipping versus running down the stairs and such.
I'm not sure if you talked about it in the previous mission, but basically Paulie had an idea of robbing a bank because Salieri doesn't give them as much money as they would want, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
the cigars we transported. There were supposed to be cigars, but we opened the crate and they were diamonds.
Yeah, so he's not giving us as much as he could. So Paulie has a bright idea of robbing a bank, but Sam is against that, so he doesn't join us. But basically, this whole mission is about robbing a bank.
Yeah, and this mission is also like the you know, something that GTA 3 never got, which is, hey, look, we have trains. Please use that.
Yeah,
please use the train.
For some dumb reason, the developers just decided to tell us second to last mission that this game has trains and that you can take them. So we're just gonna be stuck in a train for like 4 minutes or something.
Can you?
I will do it. I will do it. Don't worry.
Okay, you will do it. Okay, cool. So I won't spoil it. Somebody also already spoiled it in the chat, but yeah, you'll see what we mean by doing it in the train. But yeah, right now there is no way to speed this up. This mission is the problem with this mission is that even if you wanted to find any skips, the problem is that this mission is the most script-heavy mission in the entire game. So.
Hello? Can I please just go behind you? No, I can't? Okay. Well, I guess it's not gonna work as good as I thought.
But it may still work, I guess.
Alright. I guess I'm gonna leave you with this and gonna take a piss.
There we go. So, yeah. The game doesn't expect you to be able to go behind Paulie, so his head just turns wherever you are, and there is no blockade, and you know, you can get behind him if you punch him, if he moves, and yeah. So there is nothing that blocks it. If you're lucky, his head will also go upside down, but that's pretty rare, and it happened when Beater was running Mafia on Shots Fired the last time, but I don't know if we will see it now. So it's pretty funny. Yeah, his neck is broken. So this is the train part, which is literally 4 minutes of nothing. And well, yeah, there's nothing, and even the guy to the right is kind of mad about it. You can already see it, and yeah, probably needs perfect 180 for the upside down. Yeah, could be. So yeah, right now we're being taken on a train ride, and what's funny is what?
I got out by accident.
Oh shit! Oh, okay. Monka. The thing is, it's a 4-minute train ride, and you know, I don't really know who came up with it, but. There's no way it was a good idea. But the thing is, what's funny is that the game only checks if you're near Paulie to a certain moment, and you can theoretically just let him go in the train, and then I think it checks every station if you're close to him. So you can theoretically just follow the train with a car, but there is not really any point to it, because you know it will still be out of score just the same. It's not even as you know, it's not even as GTA 5 that you sometimes on quote-unquote autoscores you go in front of somebody just to make him rubber band to you. This is like, it would be entirely the same. You would just risk not getting to the station on time and maybe fail the entire thing and start again, which is like, yeah, pure fun. Is this part of the game casual? You just have to be for 5 minutes. Yeah. The problem with casually is that you don't really know how fast the train is. I mean, you have the city map, but you can't really estimate how long it will be. So you just sit there on your phone or something, because you know.
Hot butt chin. Yep. He has a little butt line in the middle. Ass crack.
Okay, so we're here. I really thought it would be longer, but kind of managed to survive it without an excessive amount of boredom, so it's okay. Right now he's jumping onto Polly to push him further, as usually with NPCs. And it kind of helps, it may save you a couple of seconds.
Or it might waste you 4 minutes if if a car turns and is too fast and you just push Polly under the car's wheels, he just gets run over and dies, and you have to sit through the whole thing again.
Just don't push him near the car, lol. Forehead. Yeah, this game is pretty hard casually. If KZ is still here, then yeah, he can confirm. I watched his streams when he was playing this game, and like, you know, when KZ was playing this game, then every runner of this game would just come to his stream and laugh at him. It was pretty funny. So yeah, right now we're going on a real reconnaissance for the bank. And what exactly is Polly's hand doing? It's in his pocket. It's supposed to be in his pocket. So we're taking a look inside, and the problem is it's in French, so you can't really you can't really hear his plan in, like, okay, aside from Castor and Gale. But if you listen to his plan is pretty much, how about I just stand here and pretend to, like, you know, I'm doing the important role here, and I'm gonna be, you know, keeping things cool here and stuff, and you're just gonna do the less important thing, which is, you know, you just have to go there. You know, you can go there. You just need to figure out a way to open like 3 doors and a safe, and then maybe, just maybe, you can get some gold. And it's like, it's his whole entire plan is just, I know there's a corridor there, and you just have to, you know, we'll just have to figure out a way to this, and this, and that, and we'll be fine. And you know what? I don't really know what's worse, the plan or the fact that it works out in the end.
I think in the Czech version they actually bother whispering, but the absolute worst contender is the Russian version. I was the one timing it, and the conversation inside the bank, they're practically screaming at each other, like.
And it's like, yeah, exactly, and also you're talking about yeah, cool story. You're talking about bank robbery in the very bank, in the very same bank. Like, Polly, please. Right now, in about a minute, you'll be able to just, oh yeah, just managed to make Tommy look into the sky. Just because he's looking at Polly, and if you manipulate it a bit, you can kind of keep it this effect. And in about a minute, you'll finally gain full control of Tommy, and we'll go get some weapons.
Bon, plus tard. So right now we're looking for 2 specific cars that we can take that are pretty much the fastest car at this point, which is either the Lassiter V16 that that Ralphie teaches you how to steal in the previous mission and just for relaxation, or we're looking for Wright. And so far I don't see any of them.
Wait,
Here's
what's the second one?
right.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's
pretty
multiple
much-
variations of it. There's like a 4-door, which I just got now, or a 2-door car.
Yeah, right. Not
Wait, what
right
the fuck?
coupe would be probably the best one.
What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I don't know. I just saw it a second ago and I was like, what? I've never seen that, but okay. So he got stuck in the fighting animation.
My
What?
god, dude.
Oh shit. Okay.
Okay, that's bad. That's really bad.
Okay, there we go.
Didn't get the
this is
clip.
now clipping. This is now clipping into. Oh, okay, or not. There's a clip here you can use and to not wait for the guy to open the door and you just go. Because this is a Yellow Pete's weapon shop, and yeah,
Ok, petit.
just
Qu'est-ce qui t'amène?
You should stop at Bertone for health. Dude, I was doing a practice run like 2 days ago with commentary and stuff. And I had the brightest idea of clipping into Bertone through the wall. But the problem is, after you clip, you fall through the floor and you die. So I just wasted like 7 minutes. I'm gonna get
this
the
thing,
Thompson.
You can get locked here with any animation. You can also walk forward, I think, or like get stuck in the air. There are quite a few. There's a pretty wide choice. The problem with this mission is that it spawns a ton of cops for some reason, and you really don't want cops onto you because you won't be able to enter the bank. So like you really don't want that. So you try to avoid them as much as possible, and there is there is a story connected to the fact that this mission spawns a lot of cops. There is a trash can near Polly's place, and if you hit a trash can or a stop sign or something like that in this game, you actually go into Bertone for health.
Yeah, the 46
So-
HP is not
Yeah,
not a lot at all.
the casual struts is that instead of taking a car off a street, you just go to Luca Bertone for a nice ride. But right now, Jess is just going there to get the health pack.
I've never done this. I don't even know where the health pack is. Okay, here it is.
To the left somewhere? Yeah, okay. The orange car we're not able to open because you need Bertone, a particular Bertone mission done to open it. And now hitting a stop sign or any sign or hitting a trash can, for example, is considered by the game as a crash. So it's similar to hitting a pedestrian and not killing them. And if you do that, you get cops onto you. And Vegbella once got Polly with him in the car, hit the trash can, and got cops onto him, and failed the mission. He couldn't get into the bank, and was on a PB pace, so that's how a PB died, because it was like a minute and 30 seconds ahead. And yeah, he lost a ton of time just because of hitting a trash can. So yeah, right here you just have to be very careful about cops on foot and cops cars. And normally you didn't care about cops on foot, but you know, if you get the handcuffs, you can also trigger cop cars. So it's not always as easy as just running away from them. So you just get Polly at his apartment, and yeah, you avoid hitting trash cans, and you go to the bank. Yeah, we hope the car will not despawn near the bank this time.
Alors, tout est en ordre? T'as tout ce qu'il faut?
Ouais, hey,
Dude, the last time it despawned, I think I wasted like
Mais il a du bon matos.
5 to 10 minutes just trying
C'est
to
les plus jaunes de la ville. Et
get
en plus, pas
to
mal.
Palermo, where we need to get to in order to escape and finish the mission.
Oh yeah, Spike once parked the car inside the bank. And yeah, wait, he didn't park it in the car. He just got a car parked there, right? So he just some car was just parked inside, which is.
I'm not
even more
sure,
fun.
but if you after you get this save point, and then you load the previous save point in the bank, which is the Reconnaissance, the car that you parked in this part will be like jammed into the bank for some reason.
I mean that's what happened there. So if it's consistent, then that's even better.
Yeah, but for him it was actually on the lower floor. Usually it just appears in this one.
Okay.
So I'm not sure what happened.
So we just enter the bank, and it's a classic bank heist. And Polly is just super lazy, so he doesn't bother really with anything. He just stands there, and we have to do all the job. We pick up the keys to like the corridor that leads to the safe, but not to the safe itself. We need to pick up one more set of keys. That's what's funny is that we go to the manager's office, and Polly down there is screaming to the cashier like, "Where is the manager's office?" And Tommy could be like, "Dude, I already figured that out. It's fine. You don't have to do it. It's okay." But yeah. You didn't do the clip?
No.
There's a
I
clip
don't even
here.
have a shotgun, so
Like the.
I mean you can do it with a Thompson.
You
but
need a shotgun for that because it's pretty precise. But the first usage of the clip was actually found here, and the place where you use it is just this gate to the left now, and you just skip having to go around. But to trigger the next part, you have to go back a bit. Even when you go back, you have to get into the corridor a bit to trigger the woman screaming. Thompson reload clip. Okay. So you don't necessarily have to have a shotgun, but it's easier that way. Right now, we spawn in the city after the loading screen, and you just have to get away. And it's harder if you use the streets, but we use the jumping skip again, or however you call it. It's just this alleyway.
Ok, c'est là. On a réussi.
Bon, faut que je les scelle.
yeah, this is interesting, to say the least.
Yikes. Okay, so fun fact is that if you just if the cops just don't see you, then theoretically you can start talking to Polly. The problem is, if they start seeing you when you're standing here, you're locked. You cannot do anything because you're speaking to Polly, and you can get arrested in this very cutscene. So like, it's kind of not a cutscene like a proper cutscene, like a video. It's like a unskippable talk with Polly, and you're still like active as a player, so they can still arrest you. Hopefully, like it didn't happen here. Right here we clip, and this clip actually saves a couple more seconds than the moonlighting one. This is Death of Art, the last mission in the game, and normally you would just leave the place and open the cop car using the pick. You would pick locks on the cop car, but since you clip and you're not in the city yet, still in Polly's apartment, the cop car is open, so you just trigger the city to load with the cop car, and that saves you not only opening the cop car, but also running to the door, obviously, opening the cop car, like picking the locks on the cop car, but also when you finally pick the lock and open the cop car that's in the city, that's on the map of that's on the city part, that spawns where when the city loads. There is no way you're gonna turn left and not get hit by the tram. So you have to wait like 3 seconds for the tram to pass. So yeah, it's still like it saves time on a couple of levels. Right now, we also take the cop car because normally you cannot go above 60, but with a cop car you cannot go above 105, and everything below 105 is still okay for 2 other cops, just because you're in the cop car. So right now we just entered the Jazz is just going to enter the art gallery. We're supposed to meet Sam here,
need to
and
wait
turns out
for forehead in order to
we need to
ensure
wait
that the
for-
next
for-
cutscene plays.
There are 2 cutscenes here, the first one and the second one, and the second one won't play if you don't let the first one play for a set amount of seconds, for a set amount of time, and it's just enough for you to see Tommy's forehead, and this is the second cutscene. The problem with this is that the boomers didn't know that the first cutscene affects the second one, and thought that it was random. So they would just kill. The runs would just die here, due to the cutscene not triggering. From what I remember, Lambox once said he lost a 9-minute PB here, just because the cutscene wouldn't trigger like 10 times in a row or something. And every time it doesn't trigger, you lose like a minute, right? So before clips were known. But yeah, right here you just kill some of the guys, you jump over a few places where you can get hit so you don't get hit, usually. And yeah, right, are you going no, you're not, okay. Zoom, whatever. So you can go for the health pack there. But if you go for the health pack, you need to remember to wait 3 seconds in front of the health pack.
Maybe I should.
The area around the health pack is where a grenade triggers.
Yeah, and get ready on time, by the way. Just
yeah, the timing starts. The timing ends when he's shooting the guy right now. He'll then run towards him and hit him, and when he loses control after hitting him, the timing stops. So like the cutscene starts then.
Time.
Yeah, so like the end of this corridor and the cutscene starts then.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So that's time.
Waiting still.
Okay.
There you go.
So, yeah.
3:07:47.
Okay, that's not too bad, considering all the things that happened.
Yeah.
Et voilà, Tommy, toujours la même situation. Va encore falloir faire un choix difficile.
Merde.
So yeah, if you make sure to visit Mafia: The City of Lost Heaven speedrun demos archive.eu. It's a real site, so you know I'll repeat it. Mafia: The City of Lost Heaven speedrun demos archive.eu.
Not yet, Ben. Not yet. It's coming.
It's coming. I mean, hey, it works. And yeah, if you would like to run this game or play this game, then we highly encourage you because it's pretty good.
So if I can have a few last words.
I'll allow it.
Okay, alright. I got a blessing from Eben, so So the story goes that like a month ago, some Russian twat got into my Twitch account and changed the password and the email. And I've created like a support ticket like 40 minutes after it happened, and Twitch still hasn't gotten back to me yet. So I'm just waiting. People on Twitter have been saying that they've been waiting for more than 2 months. So I was thinking that I could ask all of you, all the viewers, and encourage you to just go to my channel at twitch.tv/jazzruns and just report it for being stolen or compromised or something. It also got to my attention that sometimes the reason is not there, there's like some different reasons. So if you can find like theft or something and report it for that, I would really appreciate it. Because maybe Twitch will finally stop sitting on their asses and sucking each other off and just do something.
Sounds like we're just gonna get your account banned, to be honest.
I mean, the Russian dude is just streaming Hunt. He even activated like affiliate system and he's just raking in money. I was paying attention to it for like 2 days and he got like 100 subscribers. So I don't care, you know. As long as they answer me eventually to the support ticket, I guess they will unban it, you know. So yeah, if you can do that, please, I would really appreciate it.
Weird ending speech.
Anyway, upcoming is GTA 2 100% by Tezuro, so have a good one. And thanks for having me on GTAMarathon. I'm really glad that Mafia got in. And if I inspired somebody to run the game or just be interested in these runs, I'm happy.
Alright then, yeah. So yeah, that was that. Next is GTA 2 100%.
Take a walk along the avenue.
I want something to eat.
You heard me. Anything?
I'm hungry.
Doesn't Need Anything is a new Zaibatsu developed baby food designed to satiate your baby's every need, because early entry into the Zaibatsu food program builds a better youth. DNA Food, shaping tomorrow's adults.